किसके हाथी? Dear participants, warm greetings from KLCET Chikkodi, Karnataka, India. So I would like to request everyone to be muted. The session will start shortly. So please muted yourself. Good afternoon to one and all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Audible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Please stay muted yourself. Gagandeep Sharma ji, you have raised your hand. Yeah. Just wait for another. Good afternoon, Jolina. Yeah. Just wait for another 10 to 15 minutes. We'll be starting the session. Dattatreya sir, please turn off your camera. Yeah.
स्मूथ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲರ್ ಬರುದಾ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಚಲೋ ಐತಿ ಇದು ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ
Good afternoon, Varun sir.
Good afternoon, Sunil. How are you? Sorry for the delay.
Fine, sir. It's okay. It's okay, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. I'm so much fine, sir. So, sir, shall we start the session, sir?
Sure.
Just.
Sure.
disable ಮಾಡಿ.
Cool, sir.
Two minutes wait ಮಾಡಿ.
Start ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ದ ಡೋರ್ ಇದೆ. 2 minutes wait ಮಾಡಿ.
Cybersecurity is not just crucial to protect against economical loss and avoid disruption, but it is also vital to protect youth from any kind of harm. A warm good noon to one and all present over here. I, Ashwini Gauli, Assistant Professor, CSE Department, KLCT, pleased to welcome you all to this national level webinar on cybersecurity tools for the youth, organized by Department of CSE, KLCT Chikkodi, Karnataka, India. Welcoming is our tradition, welcoming is our culture. On behalf of management, principal and staff of KLCT, I would like to welcome speaker of today's session, Dr. Varun Kapoor, IPS, Additional Director General of Police, Madhya Pradesh, India. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next, I extend my warm welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. Prasad Rampure, for this webinar. Welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I take this privilege to welcome Professor Satish Bhojanawar, convener and HOD CSE Department KLCT to this webinar. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would like to welcome Professor Sunil Shinde, event coordinator, to this session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
It gives me an immense pleasure to share with you all that, though it is a national level webinar, the participants from 14 different countries like UK, US, Japan, Philippines, China, etc. are a part of this webinar now, and they have made this an international webinar. Special welcome to all those participants. Now, I request Professor Satish Bhojanawar, convener and HOD CSE Department KLCT, to introduce the speaker of today's webinar. Over to you, sir, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, we KLCT Chikkodi, students and staff, would like to salute and say a big thank you to all the frontline Corona warriors. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce a great personality and cyber security expert, Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir, Additional Director General of Police, Madhya Pradesh, India. Sir is an IPS officer and has joined IPS in the year 1991 in Madhya Pradesh cadre. Sir holds B Honours degree in Mechanical Engineering from NIT Tirchi, Tamil Nadu. During his earlier days, from 1899 to 1981, Sir has served as Executive Assistant to CMD Reliance Industry Limited, Mumbai. Then in the year 1991, he joined IPS. As an IPS officer, Sir has served in various IPS postings such as Superintendent of Police of 3 districts, namely Dhar, Sihor, Ratlam. Also served as Deputy Inspector General of Police DIG of 3 ranges, Chhatarpur, Ratlam and Ujjain. Sir has also served as Additional Director of General of Police of Indore and Narcotics Indore. Sir has also served as Inspector General of Police of Police Radio Training School, Indore. Presently, Sir is holding ADGP post in Rustamji Armed Police Training College, Indore. Not only at the national level, even at the international level, Sir had different posts and assignments, such as Deputy Training Coordinator, Gorzade and Caton, United Nations Mission in Bosnia and Herzegovina, served as Chief of Research, Mission Headquarters, Sarajevo, United Nations Mission in Bosnia and Herzegovina, served as a Principal Advisor for United Nations Observer Missions in Georgia, served as Deputy Chief Scoping Mission, Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, Mission to Lesotho and Mozambique. Sir is a professional trainer for various departments, institutes, and committees, such as United States Department of Justice, where he has served as a certified trainer. Sir is a master trainer of United Kingdom Department for Funding International Development, National Resource Person of Bureau of Police Research and Development, New Delhi, a national level trainer for World Life Fund and Traffic India, Wildlife Trust of India and freelance. He has headed 2 prestigious police training institutes of Madhya Pradesh, that is PRTS and RAPTC, both at Indore. Sir has been appointed as a chairman by BP R&D New Delhi of National Institute to find out best police training institutes in the country for the year 2018. As a part of a community policing, in the 1994, Sir has funded first Mahila Paramarsha Kendra. This concept became such a success that it was renamed as Parivar Paramarsha Kendra and given a legal backing and adopted all over the Madhya Pradesh state.
Sunil, excuse me, can I start here? I think it will be very long. I will.
Yeah, sir.
I will. You can just call me, then I will start. We will do this. My introduction is enough, I think.
Okay, sir. With your due permission, I'll stop here. So, with this very brief introduction, here I present Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir, to all this virtual audience. Thank you, one and all.
Okay, I can start now, Sunil, right? I can start now?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
I would like to request our beloved principal, Dr. Prasad Rampure, to address about the event Cyber Security Tools for the Youth. Sir, please.
Yeah, I think, good afternoon, everybody. Sir, Varun sir, I'll not take more time, just half a minute, that's all, because it's already late. So we have such a coveted personality amongst us. So all the audience, I would like you to take the maximum utilization of this, as we know that we are talking about the cyber crime. Digitalization is such a good thing, but then because of digitalization, there are so many problems also. So I would request everybody to be very careful, and sir is there, so I will not take more time. Maybe at the end I will talk. So Varun sir, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Welcome to this webinar, which is concerned with cybercrime and the security related to that, that is cybersecurity. First of all, I'm sorry for this delay. I know, it was unforeseen. A sudden meeting had come up with my Director General of Police, so I could not be on time. Sorry for that. But now that we are here, let us get down to business immediately and start discussing this very important topic, very big topic, and very burning topic, and very important, very emergent topic immediately. See, in my introduction, Sunil had told you that I have worked in 5 continents as a police officer. Can you mute all the mics, please? I have worked in 5 continents as a police officer. Not gone there for tourism or travel or training only. I worked there. I worked in Africa, in Europe, in North America, in South Asia, and in Central Asia. And after working in nearly the whole world as a police officer and seeing the situation for citizen security, human security, your security in the world, I can tell you one thing. If in today's date or time we have to identify the top threats to public security, to citizen security, 1 or 2 of the top threats, according to me, it will be number 1. But even if you don't agree with me, you will have to agree with this, that it is in the 1 or 2 top threats to public security, citizen security in today's date and time. It is that big a problem. It's that big a challenge. It's that big a danger. It is not that small a thing that we can just wish it away. But being human, we are affected by things which happen in the real world around us, this physical world which is there existing around us. We are affected by what is happening here, right? We are worried about what happens here. We take action for things which to secure us in this world around us, in the real world. So in the virtual world, you feel no danger. You can see no danger. So you feel there is no danger, but that's not true. It is one of the topmost threats to public security in today's date and time, and it's going to become even a bigger threat in the time to come. So we are going to talk about that. And one more thing, in my experience, tells me that the only key, the only way that you have to secure yourself in cyberspace, it is not the best way, sorry, it is the only way. The best way, no, the only way, the only key to secure anybody, me, you, anyone in cyber world is your own awareness. Your awareness will secure you in cyberspace in the best possible manner. There is no other way, according to me, at present. Tomorrow, what happens, I do not know. But at present, it is only your awareness, because awareness leads to alertness, and alertness leads to security. And these things which I'm saying just now, it is one of the biggest threats, and awareness is the only key. I will tell you in the later part of my talk why am I saying it. I'm just not claiming it and just forgetting it. I will prove it to you. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing before I start formally. I'm going to talk some things about why this is such a big danger, then some concepts of cybersecurity which you should know, and finally some cybercrime which is affecting the youth, particularly. I'm going to talk about that, and after that, if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. If I have the answers, that's how we will go. So let's start immediately. One thing I would like to tell you, I'm here as a police officer to address you in this webinar. I'm a police officer with 30 years experience of policing. And 10 years out of that, I have spent in the field of cybercrime, cybersecurity, out of my own free choice. I was never posted in that place like a cyber cell or cybercrime division or cyber wing. I was never posted there, but I have worked there out of my own. I've done work in that field out of my own free will. I started 10 years back when nobody must have heard about cybercrime. Forget about you citizens. Even police officers had not heard about a thing called cybercrime. That is the time when I started out of my own choice. As I said, I like to do different things. I've done a lot of work in my official fields like field policing, community policing, international policing, police training. Wherever I have been posted, I have done a lot of work. But I like to do work in new fields, different fields, to help people as much as I can. Like narcotics enforcement and awareness, I've done a lot of work. Women's security, suicide prevention, wildlife conservation, traffic improvement. There's so many of the fields. But cybercrime remains my first choice. You can say it is my mission and passion today. That is why I have come here to address you. I get nothing out of it. I'm not paid for it. It's not part of my job. Even if I don't do it today, it's not going to make a difference to me. I'll still earn my salary because it's not my job. It takes a lot of effort to take these webinars and everything. Earlier it used to be seminars and workshops, but it is my mission and it is my passion. That's why I'm here to address you. I feel my being here can raise your level of awareness and raise your level of security to some extent. I think I would have done a lot of work and a lot of satisfaction for me. Anyway, so I'm here as a police officer to address you. I don't claim to be some very big computer expert. Neither am I claiming to be some gadget guru or some software wizard. I am not. I'm a police officer, as I said, with 10 years experience in the field of cyber security. and cybercrime. And that is what I'm going to share with you. So what I'm going to tell you today are going to be only common sense things. Policing matters, your security matters, when it matters about your security, which is a sense which is important. Common sense, you all know that. So what I'm going to tell you are common sense things related to cybercrime, cybersecurity. I'm not going to talk to you rocket science. I'm going to talk to you common sense things. I can also talk big words, blockchain technologies and artificial intelligence and robotics and what all. I can also use those big words, and then you will feel. But I've heard so many of so-called cybercrime experts over the years, and they talk very big things, and when they go away, the people feel, oh my God, this guy knew a lot because he was talking such big things. But what did we understand? Probably very little. And what did we learn, or what did we gain? Probably nothing. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk to you common sense things, policing things. So it's common sense things. So I believe that a lot of things which I'm going to say today, you may already know because it's common sense. Most of the things you may already know. And I give it to you. Some of you may be very intelligent. You may know everything that I'm going to say today. Chalo. I accept that also. But I'll tell you one thing, friends. If you know everything that I'm going to say today, then also I request you listen once more. Because once you listen to things again and again, they become part of your system. Correct? And that's what I want to happen today. That whatever I'm going to say in the field of cybersecurity, you listen once more, make it part of your system. Why? I'll tell you. When the threat comes, when the danger comes, when the challenge comes, what is important for your own safety and security? Your response to that situation, right? If your response is immediate, it's automatic, then probably you'll be able to save yourself in the best possible manner. Simple. Suppose somebody is standing in front of you with a knife. Will you start thinking what you're going to do? If you start thinking, it may be too late. If you start doing, then you may secure yourself in the best possible manner, as I said, correct? So that automatic response, that immediate response is the best response. And when is that response automatic and immediate? When it is part of your system. Nobody has to tell you, oh, somebody's standing in front of you with a knife, why don't you do something, correct? So that automatic response, immediate response is best response when it's part of your system. And that is why I'm telling you, listen again. Even if you know, listen, make these things part of your system, give that automatic response, which is the best response for a cybersecurity threat situation also, which people do not give. Why? Because they do not see the danger. So make it part of your system, listen carefully. It's for your benefit, okay? Now I'll try to tell you why I was saying that is one of the biggest threats to public security. See, whatever I'm telling you is out of my own experience, my own cases which I've seen and dealt with, my own understanding, my own knowledge, my own research. I do research in this field also. So I'm going to share only those points with you, nothing from somebody else's study and somebody else's experience. If you understand and like what I say, it's very good. If you don't, then also it's very good, but I'll still say it, don't worry. So my experience tells me that it is one of the biggest challenges to public security because after having seen crime all over the world and after having dealt with all types of crime all over the world, I can tell you cybercrime is different from any crime which has ever happened anywhere in the world before. It's different. That is why it is such a big challenge. Anything which is different is very difficult to handle, to manage, to organize. You can understand that very simply from today, what's happening in this COVID times. COVID, the pandemic, has, is it the first pandemic which has hit humanity? In my life, I have seen so many kind of epidemics and pandemics coming. Bird flu, swine flu, AIDS, Ebola. People said world is going to finish and this and that. Nothing happened. It was managed. Why has this been not managed so well? Why has the world changed so much? The humanity has come to a standstill. Why? Because COVID is different from any other epidemic, pandemic, which has ever hit humanity, at least in our living memory, before. Because it is different, it is becoming such a big challenge, right? These things like masking, wearing a mask rather, or social distancing, or maybe even keeping your hands clean, sanitization, all that, these are not part of general habits of all of us. So it's taking time to adjust. When it's taking time to adjust, it has become such a big challenge because it is different. Similarly, cybercrime is different. That's why it's such a big challenge. The policing system all over the world, I'm talking, not only India, the policing system all over the world is confused what they should do to secure citizens in this space in a better possible manner. The people themselves are confused that what should we do so that we become secure in this space. As a result, because people are confused, the police is confused, it is combining to make a very big challenge to human security, to citizen security in today's time. And I would not only say to human security, a challenge, it is becoming a challenge to humanity, like this COVID-19 has become, and we better do something about it now. So because it is different, it has become one of the biggest challenges for humanity in today's date and time. And it will become worse in the time to come, as I said, if it is not addressed now. Okay, now you can ask me why you're saying it is different. What is different in it? I'll tell you this again. It is different because it is not a crime of this world, this real world, actual world, this physical world around us. It is not a crime of this world. It is a crime of a different world. It is a crime of this world. It's a crime of digital world, cyber world, virtual world, a device-based world. It is a crime of a different world. That is why it is different. And if you ever think this is not a world, this is just an activity that I'm taking part in, I'm just phoning someone, it's just an activity. Yes, of course it's an activity. I'm just WhatsApping someone, chatting, activity. Of course it's an activity. But while you're doing these activities, you're using a device. And while doing these activities through the device, you're connecting to a world. And that too, friends, is a world. Never make a mistake that it is not a world, it's just an activity. And like in the real world, there's so many dangers, threats, challenges, crime, criminal in this world. Are they not? There are enough. There are as many in this world, maybe even more. And the worst part is you can't even see them till it is too late. Till then, everything is fun and games. Good. You transfer money, you book any ticket, you make any friend, you exchange any ideas, you download any file, you music, games, everything is good, fun, no problem, till something goes wrong. Then you say, oh my God, I did not think this could happen. And why did it happen? Because you didn't see the danger. And did that mean the danger was not there? No, it meant the danger was there. Only thing is you didn't see it and you were not prepared for it. But it was very much there. Then you can keep crying and say, oh my God, what has happened? Then you can try to solve it. You may try, you will be able to solve cybercrime. I don't say it doesn't get solved. Of course it gets solved. But did you do the one important thing, the most important thing before the detection part? Could you prevent it? No, you could not. Why? Because you didn't see the danger, which was there, but you didn't see it. In the virtual world, nobody is going to come with a gun and shoot you dead. But still, you may lose your life and you will not even know it. You have heard about this blue whale challenge and all that, dares and challenges which are coming. The children, innocent children all over the world lost their lives. Blue whale challenge. Did they know it? They were only playing a game. And on the 50th day, they ended up dead. Just playing a game. In the virtual world, nobody is going to come with a knife and rob you, but you will be robbed in the worst possible manner and you will not even know it. That's what I'm saying. It's a different world, crime of a different world, a world which is also full of dangers, threats, challenges, crime, criminal, and you can't even see them till it is too late. That is why it is such a big problem. Now you can say the last thing to me is that you're a police officer and people like you all over the world are police officers. You are paid to secure citizens. Why don't you do something about it and give us security? I'll tell you why. We can't do anything at present so well. Tomorrow something good happens, I don't know. But as of today, we cannot give you that much security and that much protection. Why? Because we are all human beings. Now you'll ask me, what do you mean human beings? We are all human beings. Yeah, we know that. So what? So I mean this, that because we are all human beings, we are born in this world, real world, and we are born for the real world. We are not born in this world. We connect to this world. So we are born in the real world, we connect to the virtual world. So as we are born in the real world, all our attitudes, behavior, action, reaction, instinct, whatever you take, what are they made for? They're made for the real world. They're not made for this world. But if you start putting all these things into this world, which you will, because you're human, then you're going to ask for trouble. I'll tell you, just give you an example to make you understand. See, all human beings, we all have one instinct. We cannot help it. We are all like that because we are all human. What does that instinct say? What you see is what you believe. What you hear is what you believe. Because what you see with your own eyes and you hear with your own ears, you believe. And on basis of that, you take some action, reaction, whatever. Based on what you see or what you hear because you've seen it with your own eyes and ears. This is the real world. But suppose you start putting this instinct into this world, which you will, as I said, by default, because you're human. Then what will happen? Whatever you see, whatever you hear, you will believe and then take some action. What is going to happen? Sooner or later, you're going to make a mistake. Because in this world, you can be shown anything. You can be made to hear anything. Everything is not the truth. But being human, the first instinct will be belief. And then you may get into trouble. That is the basis of cybercrime. That's why I say when you spend your time in the virtual world, you have to make a conscious effort to change your mindset. You cannot go into the virtual world with the same mindsets of the real world, because it is not the real world. I know it's very difficult to change a mindset, to change attitude, to change behavior, to change instinct. I know it's not that easy. I have said it and you said it was so simple, we will change it. I know it is not easy. But just because it is not easy, it doesn't have to be done? No. Just because it's not easy, it still has to be done. That should be our motto, and that's how we should proceed to secure ourselves in the cyberspace. Okay, now one more thing before I start my presentation. Who is responsible for your security in the virtual world? I'll talk to you about it for 2-3 minutes, then we'll go ahead. Actually, who is responsible for your security in the real world? We'll start with that in this world. Who's responsible? You yourself are responsible. The first person responsible for anyone's security is the person himself or herself. Okay, so we are responsible, the first person, for our security. From morning to night, we do things to keep ourselves secure, don't we? Nobody tells us, nobody asks us, but you do it. It's part of a system. Go out of the house, lock the house. When you cross the road, you look left and right. When you go into a city, you will not talk to a stranger. When you go anywhere at night, you will not enter a deserted alley, whatever. What are these? These are security measures which you take from morning to night to keep yourself secure. Nobody has to ask you, nobody has to tell you. It's part of a system. So you take measures from morning to night to keep yourself secure. Your family takes measures to give you security. Your society community takes measures to give you security. The police takes measures to make the people secure. The governments make policies to keep citizens secure. So many organizations, systems, people, you yourself are concerned with your security from morning to night. As a result of which, all crime should finish, all criminals should go. But does that happen? No. In spite of all these systems, all these people, individuals, you yourself, all types of crimes still occur, all types of criminals still exist. This is the real world. Now tell me, in the virtual world, who is responsible for your security in the virtual world? Just think about it. I always say cybercrime is a crime between an individual and his or her device. It's a crime between you and your device. Now tell me, who comes between? Which system, which individual comes between you and your device to give you security? You just think about it for a minute more. I will tell you some examples. Facebook you can do, you must be doing, I also do. Suppose I become a 16-year-old girl. Can anyone stop me? Nobody can. Is there any authentication verification? As of today, there is not. So I become a 16-year-old girl and send anyone a friend request. What do you see in front of you? A 16-year-old girl's profile. And what is the instinct? Belief. Look, a 16-year-old girl is being shown, must be a 16-year-old girl. So by mistake, some of you might press that accept button. But who presses the button? That's what I want to say. You press it yourself. I don't come there to threaten you or to force you. You do it yourself by mistake. There is another crime, debit card fraud. Somebody gets a call and that person tries to extract personal information from that victim. And some people give that information by mistake. But who gives it? The victim himself or herself. Another one, suppose I want to control your device. I have to send you a virus, correct? This world is, what is a virus? Malicious software. That is a malware. That is virus. So this world works on softwares, right? So I send you a malicious software, a virus, and right below it is a virus, download it. Will you download it? Of course not, you will not. So I will send you something which you will download, and along with it, you will download my virus, which you will never see, because you will only see what I want you or make you to see, right? Technologically empowered crime, cybercrime. That's another big challenge. So anyway, I send you a virus, and you by mistake press the download button and download my virus. Now, what I want to say is that you, means all of us, you yourself are talking to the wrong person and giving all information about yourself. You yourself are pressing the wrong download button and putting a virus in your device. You yourself are accepting the wrong friend request and taking such a big danger on board. Then in such a situation, who can protect you and prevent you from making these mistakes? Is there any person, one person or many people who can sit with these crores of people all around the globe who use the virtual space 24/7 and tell them not to do these mistakes? There is no such person. And is there any system which can come between you and your device and prevent you from making these mistakes? At present, there is not. So when there is no person and there is no system to give you protection in the cyberspace, then who can protect you in the cyberspace? You got the answer. Only you can protect yourself in the cyberspace, right? Now tell me, when will you protect yourself in the cyberspace? Obviously, when you know about things. When you know about things, when you understand, when you read, when you accumulate knowledge, then only you'll be equipped to protect yourself, correct? But only knowing is not enough, friends. Knowing and doing, that is what is important. That is what is awareness. Only knowing is knowledge, information, that's it. But when you put that information and that knowledge to use, that is awareness. People are mistaken. They feel if you know about things, we are aware. No, you're not. Everyone knows that wearing a helmet is good for his or her security while riding a two-wheeler, right? Everyone knows that wearing a mask is good for your own health security. But still many people don't wear it. So they are knowledgeable, they are informed, but they are not aware. So that's what I'm saying, that you have to be aware, because only you can protect yourself in the cyber world. I proved it to you. It is only key is awareness. Awareness is what? Knowing and then doing. It's not only knowing. So please know and then do, and secure yourself. Be aware in the cyber world. And know and do when? Know and do every time. I've seen this also. Because in the cyber world, danger is not seen. No, danger is not felt. So people do some secure behavior sometimes, and sometimes they don't do. But that is no security. Sometimes you go out of your house, you lock it, sometimes you leave it open. Do you do like that? Of course not. You lock it every time. So similarly, in the virtual world, you have to know, you have to do, and you have to do it every time. Then you will be better placed in the security point of view. And because I always say that security is a habit, it's not a choice. You cannot, it's not a choice, it's a habit. You have to do it every time. So start doing it every time, be aware and be alert and secure yourself. Okay, now give me 2 minutes, I'll start my presentation. And then we'll move forward. I think you can see it, because this is, Google is the app for video conferencing. It's not an app for webinars, but anyway, can you see it properly, my screen?
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
So I will not share the whole screen because it doesn't move forward the slides. I will do it like this. Now, this is the initiative we are going to be together under. It's called my initiative, called Black Ribbon Initiative. It is for cyber crime awareness. I told you I work in many fields. I've got different initiatives, different campaigns for drugs, for wildlife conservation and all. This is for cyber crime awareness. There's another one for cyber crime training, which I do for police officers and army officers and paramilitary officers, whatever. But this is cybercrime awareness. And because I didn't let Sunil complete my introduction, I would also like to tell you that for this, I have the world record for the maximum number of seminars, workshops, webinars by any one person anywhere in the world. My figure stands because World Book of Records, London has registered it as a world record. So it's a world record under which I do this. And more than 700 sessions from so many years. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to be together under this thing. Earlier, when it was normal times, when the pandemic not struck, I used to go all around the country when I had time, of course, and I used to have workshops and seminars and address people and tell them the dangers and pitfalls of cyber world, cyber crime, cyber security. That was also a very good way. Live contact is best contact, I believe. And when you meet people face to face, that's the best way. We are all humans, as I said. Experience sharing, problem solving, and so many things can occur when you are face to face with each other. Case studies and all that. But now is a time of pandemic, lockdown, stay at home. So this will not work. So I started Sampark Abhiyan. This was for the webinar-based campaign. And under that also in 1 year, this must be my 150th or more than that webinar all over the world. I have done webinars now in Japan, in Malaysia, in Dubai, and I don't know, many places, even in Singapore. And so it is the reach of this kind of approach is a lot. You can do it all over the world. People can hear you. A few months back, I was on our Honorable Prime Minister's app called Namo app platform. And together I could address 1.5 lakh people, 150,000. Huge reach. But of course, the live contact is missing. So everything has its own advantages and disadvantages. This is the time of lockdown. This is the best option we have. After the lockdown, if your college invites me, I will come there and address you personally and have a face-to-face interaction. It will be a great experience for you and for me. So now we are under the Sampark Abhiyan. It is the stay-at-home time. And I believe the stay-at-home crime is cybercrime. Why? Because traditional crime has gone down in this lockdown era, because movement is restricted, communication is restricted, interaction is restricted, trade, commerce, business, industry, all down. But cyber, as a result, the traditional crime has gone down, but cyber crime, on the other hand, has gone up, and tremendously. Not only few times, many, many times. Why? Because I say it is a true stay-at-home crime. Because the person who commits the crime has to go nowhere, meet no one, can sit at home and commit the crime. And the person who becomes victim of this crime also has to go nowhere, meet no one, can keep sitting at home and become victim of crime. That's why it's a true stay-at-home crime. And that's why in this time, it has become even a bigger danger compared to the previous time. And in the time to come, it's going to become even more of a threat because the cyber world use is going to increase. So either way, it's a very big threat. And I told you how we are going to deal with it. Those things which I said in the previous part of my talk, awareness is the only key. That's what we are here for. We are going to talk about many things. First, I'm going to introduce you to some concepts, and then we are going into the crime. Okay. Because it's not going one by one, so I have to do it like this. The slide, the whole thing opens together. So anyway, first we'll talk about what is the use of cyber world. If I ask you what is the definition of cyber world, digital world, virtual world, maybe you will not be able to give it to me. I also don't know such a definition, even if there is one. It may be something very long and it has of no use to us. So we will first see what we do in this world and taken together, that will be the cyber world. I'm not doubting anyone's intelligence, please. All of you must be knowing everything. But it's better to know what this world is, then you can understand the security of this world. According to me, there are these five main users of the cyber world. You have many users, but when you group them, there will be these five. Now, let's talk about them quickly so that we understand this world. Information is the first, most important, most widespread use of the cyber world is information. Today is the age of information. The whole humanity is living in the age of information, right? So in there was agricultural age, there was industrial age. Now it's information age. There's the information revolution which took place in the 90s and the early 2000s. It's over now. We are all living in the age of information. So when the name is information age, the most important thing is information in today's date and time. The more information you have and the more smartly you use that information, the more successful you will be, the more secure you will be, the more satisfied you will be, the more everything you will be. Because everything flows from collection and utilization of information. There was an American economist. His name was Alvin Toffler. He died last year. That gentleman got the Nobel Prize for economics in the late 70s and the early 80s. Why? He had written a book. That book was called The Future Shock. In that book, he had coined a phrase. That phrase was information is power. So at that time, people must be laughing at him, I think, that what does he mean information is power, money power, muscle power, energy power? We've heard about what is information is power. But what that gentleman said 40 years back has come true today. Today, information is the biggest power for me, for you, for everyone, for everything, as I said. Now, having said that, if information is the biggest power for all of us, then for a criminal of today's age, that is a cyber criminal, what is the biggest power? That is also information. Whose information? Your information. The more information about you goes into that wrong hand, the hand of a cyber criminal, the more successfully that person will commit crime on you. There is no doubt about it. I'll just give you an example. This is just estimate. This is not any research figure. But see, my name is Varun Kapoor. My job is Indian Police Service. Now, suppose these two bits of information leak and reach the wrong hand. Maybe that person can commit crime on me, 5% success rate. Just assume. Now that person comes to know my phone number. Third information. The success rate may become 15%. Now that fellow comes to know, or the person comes to know that I work in the field of cyber security. Fourth bit of information. The success rate may become 25%. Now that fellow comes to know that my hobby is wildlife photography. Fifth bit of information. The success rate will become even higher. That's how it goes. The more information about me leaks and reaches the wrong hand, the more successfully cybercrime will be committed on me. Now tell me, who gives these criminals this information about us? Just think. I think you got the answer. Most of the information is given by you yourself. Not all of it, most of it. 24 hours, we are leaking information about ourselves. We keep talking to anybody, anything on the phone. We keep liking, posting, sharing, forwarding anything in the virtual world without thinking who's looking at it, without even bothering what can be done with it. We keep on leaking information about us 24/7. And when this information reaches the wrong hand, it becomes a base of cybercrime on you. That I've already said. So now you tell me, if you are the biggest source of information, which becomes a base of cybercrime on you, then who can protect that information for you? You got the answer again. It's nobody but you. Because I told you before, it's the whole play is between you and your device. Now, what you're doing with the information, who you're talking to, what you're doing. I told you 24 hours you're leaking information. Then who can prevent that information, protect that information? I told you it's nobody but you. That's why I say information security is the base, the foundation of cybersecurity. Like awareness is the key, the way to cybersecurity. Information security is the basis, the foundation of cybersecurity for you. Whose information? Your information. Who can secure it? Nobody but you. And when will you have to start doing that? You have to start doing it from today. Not from today, from now. Okay? Because if, if I tell you today that stop doing Facebook, stop doing WhatsApp, and if you listen to my advice and you stop doing it, then of course your points of leakage will reduce. Your cybersecurity situation will improve, no doubt. But will you do it? Of course you will not do it. So I will not give you such an advice. This is no cybersecurity advice. So I will tell you this, please do it, but do it carefully. What to share, with whom to share, how much to share, whether to share or not to share, that is your information. Who's going to decide? You're going to decide. And then you're going to start securing information, and you're going to start doing it from now. That is the only foundation for you for cybersecurity. So start doing it from now. If you're doing it already, very good. But if you're not doing it, you do it better, I would say. But if you're not doing it, not even bothering, then you better start now. Otherwise, the door is open. You're only waiting for someone to enter. It may be too late if you start from tomorrow. So start doing it from now. That's what I would say. Many people come to me and talk to me very big things. They say to me that, these banks and these other companies, they collect so much information about the customers, and their servers also get hacked sometimes. Like you heard just now, the Air India server and the Star Alliance network servers were hacked, and 10 years passenger information was leaked. So they say these things, that so many things, these people collect information about customers, and their servers and all get hacked, and so the information leaks, and so much danger to the customers and all. Yes, of course there is. Why not? Of course there is. Then they say that these governments and all that, they also collect so much information about citizens, like Aadhaar card database, like Arogya Setu app database, and so many things. They collect so much information about citizens, and suppose their servers get hacked, then how much danger to the citizens? Of course there is. Why not? I agree with you. But may tell you one thing, friends. These organizations, banks, governments, or whatever, if they collect information about citizens and customers, they do it for a purpose. They don't do it for fun. They do it for a purpose, and that purpose is your benefit. So when they collect information about you for your benefit and store it at a place, then they put in the best security systems they have to secure that information which they've collected about you for your benefit. They'll put in the best firewalls, the best security softwares, the best AI algorithms, whatever is available with them, they will put in to serve. Next is social networking. This also, to make a network. Now I'll stop here for 2 minutes to explain to you a very important point. See, the cyber world is a double-edged weapon. If you make a mistake in the real world, you may become victim of a crime. But if you make a mistake in the cyber world, you may become victim of a crime. But on the other hand, you may make a mistake by mistake and become a cyber offender by mistake. That's the problem in the cyber world, because it's a double-edged weapon, as I told you. So all the cases which I have seen when people have become criminals in the cyber world by mistake is because they have not understood the difference between communication and social networking. All the cases I've seen are of this type. So I would like to try to tell you this difference. It's very important. So you have to understand. See, if you don't know the difference between communication and social networking, you're making a mistake, right? Now, on basis of this mistake, if you do something in the virtual world, which is a mistake, then you actually made a mistake by mistake. But there is no law in any country in the world. And there will be no lawkeeper in any country in the world who will tell you, okay, if you have made a mistake by mistake because you didn't know the law, no problem. Say sorry, go, don't make it again. No, sir. If you make a mistake by mistake, it is still a mistake and you will be punished for it. So best is that you don't make the mistake. How will you not make the mistake? Either you know the law of the country. The law of the country in India for cybercrime is IT Act, Information Technology Act. Either you know what is written in that act, then you will not make that mistake by mistake. But knowing the law is sometimes a challenge, which is good. You should know the law actually, according to me. But sometimes knowing the law is a challenge for children, for many people. So if you cannot know the law, please understand the difference between communication and social networking so that you don't make that mistake. Let me try to explain it to you. Communication is with those people who you know or you want to be communicating with or be in touch with. Social networking, on the other hand, can be with anyone on this globe. Only thing that person should have access to the internet, probably. You may not know that person, you may not want to contact that person, but still you may come in contact with him. That is social networking. And that's very important. Why? I'll tell you with an example. Suppose I'm speaking against some person, some authority, some system, some religion, caste, community, whatever. If I'm speaking against somebody, maybe calling somebody and saying these things, maybe collecting 10 people and talking these things, maybe emailing these things, this is communication. Now, what are the features important? One is that I know these people. That's why I can phone them or they call them, talk to them or email them. I must know them. Second is that I may actually want to tell them these things. That's why I'm saying these things to them, either in person or on phone or on email, right? I might want to tell them these things. Third, because I know them, they may agree with me and say, yes, you're right. This person is very bad. This system is very bad. You're right. This is communication. But suppose I post, forward, like or share the same content in the virtual world. Then what will happen? It will go around and reach a person who may not agree with me and say, no, I don't agree with you. What you've said about this person, this institution, this system, I don't agree with you. And suppose that person goes and reports what I have liked, shared, forwarded, or posted. And if that content is against the law of this country, then what's going to happen? Legal action is going to be taken against me. Then I cannot say that, oh, no, I didn't want to tell you. By mistake, it has come. Sorry, go your way, forget it. That's not going to happen. If I've done it, and it reaches a person who is not agreeing with me and reports it and it's against the law, then action will be taken against me. Then I cannot say these things. So it's better that you do responsible social networking behavior. That is the only answer. Because, and understand this difference, that's not communication. It's not only in India, all over the world, societies, communities, countries are being torn apart by irresponsible social networking behavior of its citizens. Please do not become part of it. Do responsible social networking behavior so that you can be at peace, your society, community can be at peace, and your world and country can also be at peace. So do responsible social networking behavior. Otherwise, making a mistake by mistake, you may become an offender by mistake. I'll just give you a case. There is a district in Madyapradesh, it is called Khandwa. Khandwa district borders Maharashtra state. Now, some time back in Khandwa district, there was one person who posted something against some religion on Facebook. As a result, there were riots in Khandwa. Many people lost their lives. There was curfew in Khandwa for many days, and people were very troubled. We wrote to Facebook to find out what are the IP address from which this post was generated. IP address, digital footprints, I'll talk about it earlier, next slide also. So anyway, IP address we asked for from Facebook. Facebook wrote back to us and told us that we cannot give you the IP address because our server was not used, proxy server was used to post this content. Now that guy who did it may be thinking he's very smart, that I'll come up with new technology and never get caught. But let me tell you one thing, friends, technology is made by whom? Technology is made by humans. I will tell you today, there is no technology which cannot be traced. There is no technique which cannot be tracked. Please believe it and make it part of your system, as I said. Don't come into other people saying, see, for you, for me, for everyone, many of your youth, the biggest weapon is what? The biggest weapon for you is your own brain. Go by your own brain. Don't go by others saying and others falsely misleading communications. I'm telling you today that there is no technology which cannot be traced. There's no technique which cannot be tracked. It is a fact. Make it part of your system and always believe it. Anyway, this person must have thought he will not get caught because he's using proxy server, but he did get caught. We wrote to the proxy was from Slovakia, which is a country in Europe. We wrote to that proxy, told them the incident, asked for the IP address. They gave us the IP address, and that person was caught. I didn't talk to that person after he was caught. Why did you do this stupid thing? But you just tell me, why would he have done it? He might have done it just to act smart, just to be activist type, just to, show he's very active and all that. Or maybe in somebody else is saying that you do it and all, they never get caught, use proxy server, whatever. For one small impulse, he did such a thing which led to such big disaster. And caught, also he got, because he thought he would get away with it, but he did get caught. Now what happened, his trial went on and he got punished for this offense. And you know how long he was punished for? He was punished for life imprisonment. Why? Because he did not even know the law. The Indian IT Act, there is a section called 66F of the IT Act, which is cyber terrorism. You transmit anything in cyberspace which spreads terror in society, you are liable for cyber terrorism, and the punishment for that is life imprisonment. And he was found liable and he was punished for life imprisonment. Now you tell me, if this person knew that for this small stupid impulse which he had, he's going to do such a thing and trying to use new technology and never get caught, but still he would get caught and then be sentenced for life, would he have done such a thing? I'm sure he wouldn't have done it. If he had something here, if it was empty, I don't know. But if he had something in his grey matter here, he would have not done such a thing. So that's why I'm saying to you, please do responsible social networking behavior, because that is the only way to prevent from becoming a offender by mistake. Okay. I'm again and again saying like, share, forward, post. Now you can say that posting or hosting is uploading your content is my content. Okay, if it is something wrong, if it is something against the law, then I should be punished for it. Okay, accept it. But why liking, sharing, and forwarding will also make me an offender by mistake? Because this is somebody else's content. So I will tell you why. This is again because the law says so. The Indian IT Act has got a key phrase. It is called transmission. That in the virtual world, if you transmit anything which is illegal, which is obscene or whatever, you're doing a crime. Now, what is transmission, friends? Transmission is if you host some content of your own, if you post some content of your own, you're transmitting, correct? Because you have uploaded it and you have transmitted in the virtual world. Okay. But what is liking, sharing, and forwarding? When you like, share, and forward, you actually transmit the content further. That's what you're doing basically. But if you're liking, sharing, and forwarding, you're transmitting the content further. So if the original content was illegal or obscene and you have transmitted it further, you become part of the crime. And even if the original content was not yours. So you should not only host and post responsibly, you should like, share, and forward also responsibly, because that can also get you into trouble. Now, the last use of cyber world is entertainment. You know it, songs, movies, games, whatever. Now, these 5 things, when you're doing, and when you're doing it with a device, you're spending your time in the virtual world. How much time you're spending in the virtual world? Let me tell you that also, just for your information. I did a research. Now, this is a research figure. This is not an estimate. This research is 3 years old. The figures must have changed a lot. It's an exponentially changing world, but you'll get an idea of what is happening. From these figures, at least you'll get an indication. See, 3 years back, I carried out a research in Indore, the city where I am. We're a city of 4 million people. I made 2 groups, one group of high school students, 10th, 11th, 12th, one group of college students, and had a scientific research, how much time in one day they spend in the virtual world. The figures I got was 3 years back, 22% high school students of one day, 22% of the time in the virtual world, and college students like most of you, 29.8%, meaning nearly 30% of one day's time in the virtual world. That was 3 years back. Now this 30% might have become 50%. And in this lockdown era, it might have become even more. In the coming time, it will become even more. Just imagine half our lives we are spending in the virtual world. Half our lives. What are you doing about security? Are you securing your information consciously? Are you understanding the difference between communication and social networking and doing responsible social networking behavior always? Are you changing your mindsets and all those things I talked before? Are you doing it? If you're doing it, very good. Do it better. If you're not doing it, you must start now. Otherwise, it may be too late. The next thing I'll just talk to you about the concept, then we go to the crime, is digital footprints. I wanted to tell you this because this is how we catch the criminals, the police. So you must know about it so that you can take care about it. In the real world, the best evidence is this. This means fingerprint, because everyone has a unique fingerprint. You know it, every human on the globe. Unique fingerprint, best evidence, real world. Virtual world, also best evidence, many types of evidence. Best evidence is digital footprint. Why? Because digital footprint is also unique. Now, digital footprint, what is a digital footprint? Digital footprint is data which you leave behind when you do any activity in the virtual or digital world. You will leave behind some data. That data is your digital footprint. Okay. Now, that digital footprint is also unique, as I said. It's unique to the user, not to the person, to the user of the device, because that data is generated by devices, a device-based world. So I may be having 2 mobile phones and I will generate 2 sets of digital footprints, but both will be connected with me because the SIM card is issued in my name. So it is indirectly unique to the person. So like a fingerprint is best evidence because it is unique to a person. Digital footprint is also best evidence because it is unique to the user and indirectly to the person or the user of that device. So that's why it's the best evidence. But according to me, it is even better evidence than fingerprint. Why? Because suppose you wear a glove and go somewhere. Will I leave behind my fingerprints? I will not. I can hide my fingerprints. Suppose I go somewhere and I touch some object and I feel, oh, my fingerprints have come. So I take out my handkerchief and I wipe the fingerprints off. So will my fingerprints remain? No, they will remain. No, not remain. I can remove my fingerprints. So my fingerprints I can hide, I can remove, I can modify. You have heard about fingerprint cloning and all that. So I can do all those things with my fingerprints. But with my digital footprints, I cannot hide, I cannot remove, I cannot change, I cannot modify. Once they are made, they are made. These cyber criminals, so-called big cyber criminals, come up with new technology, like proxy server, like that Handwa chap. Sometimes they come up with Tor browser, sometimes they'll come up with darknet and all these kind of new technologies. Why? They do it just to cover, to mask their digital footprints. You remove one by one the layer, you will reach the original digital footprints because they cannot be hidden, they cannot be removed, they cannot be modified. Once made, they are made. I've given you the example of that Khandwa case in which he was caught, even if when he used proxy servers. I'll give you another example to prove it to you what I'm saying, how it is right. See, there is a place called Darknet. You must have heard about it. Darknet is 75% of all internet use. Internet is Darknet, 25% surface net, what we use. People feel Darknet is full of crime and criminals and criminal activities. It is full of so much technology, so many browsers, so many types of protocols, and all crime occurs there and they can never even get caught. This is what people feel generally. But let me tell you one thing. Crime occurs everywhere. In the real world, don't you think there is crime? There is enough crime. In these gullies and mohallas, there's so much crime festering, but doesn't it get caught? Of course it gets caught. In the surface net which we use, is there no crime? Of course, there's so much crime. It still gets caught. Similarly, in the darknet also, there is a lot of crime, no doubt. But it also gets caught. And you should not be under that illusion that the darknet crime can never be caught. I'll give you a case, you'll understand. There was a website in the darknet called the Silk Route. You might have heard about it. The Silk Route was a website which was in function, in operation for many years. An illegal website in which people could access it using Tor browser, special kind of browser, the Onion router, and then make payments in bitcoins and order anything illegal, like wildlife parts, like child pornography, like drugs, like illegal weapons, whatever. People could go there, make payment in Bitcoin, order these illegal things, and the things used to reach their doorstep. This was going on from years. People thought they can never be caught and this thing can never be finished. But finished they were. Just see how and in how much time. There is an organization called Europol, European Police Organization. They teamed up with the FBI of USA and they carried out a joint investigation against Silk Route. Within 10 days, it only took them 10 days. Within 10 days, they removed all those layers. They reached the original digital footprints of the gang. They caught the entire gang in 10 days. And then, of course, the trial went on. The gang was from United Kingdom. The trial went on, and in the end, the head of that gang, the leader of that gang, has been sentenced to life imprisonment also. But within 10 days, they removed the layers, got all the digital footprints, got the entire gang. It took them only 10 days. Today, there is nothing called Silk Route. It is finished, it's busted, it's history. Thing which people thought will never end because so much technology, so many protocols. So this doesn't happen. So that's what I'm saying. Digital footprints can never be changed, can never be hidden, can never be modified, can never be removed. Once they are made, they are made. So what I would request you is make your digital footprints as good as possible so that you don't get into trouble because of them ever. Monitoring youth, I'll just talk to you quickly about it, then I'll go forward into the crime. Most of the youth, college students, you are all adults, you have rights, you have privileges which are different from minors below 18. I agree with it, but still you don't have that experience. Experience you don't get in any book, you don't get in any library, it comes with living life. So you don't have that experience, so you are still our grown-up children. Because I am speaking like a parent. I have got two sons also, one in college, one in school, so I also know. So the minors, children, you are adults, but you are our grown-up children. You lack that experience still, which is very important in living life. So for the parents who are here, for the elders who are here, for the teachers, professors, I'd like to tell you this concept about monitoring youth. See, in the real world, we give two things to our next generation to make them better than us. We try. Most of the time we succeed, sometimes we don't. That is not the point. But we give these two things to our next generation. One, we provide for everything for them as best as we can. The best environment, the best education, the best security, whatever we can give them, we provide them. One. Second, we monitor them in the real world. 24/7 as parents, as teachers, we're supposed to monitor our wards, our children. And we do it. Where does he go? Who does she talk to? How much does he sleep? How much does he eat? How much does she study? The whole day we are only monitoring them. For their benefit, of course. And monitoring, friends, is like awareness. Awareness is knowing and doing. Monitoring is also not looking, watching, and seeing. It's looking, watching, and seeing, and then doing something if you find something wrong. That is monitoring. So in the real world, we monitor them and we provide for them and we try to make them better than us. And we succeed most of the times. Now in the virtual world, where our children and our youth are spending half their lives, we are providing them whatever we can, whatever the best we can, right? Give us this system, take it. Give us this device, okay. Give us this connection, okay. Give us this gaming computer, take it also. So we provide as much as we can, like in the real world. But what is the monitoring you're doing for your youth and children in the real world, in the virtual world? Even if it is 1%, I will be very happy. I'm speaking from experience, okay? I used to go around India, and I still have contact all over India in this field. So even if it is monitoring is 1%, it is okay. But it is not even 1%, it is a big zero. Mostly it is that. So if you are giving them everything, providing them everything, and monitoring is nothing, then what is going to happen? Because these are the two important pillars on which the next generation's future rests. Monitoring, provision. Real world we do it, virtual world only monitoring. Things don't stand on one leg. So only provision, no monitoring. So better start monitoring your youth and your children. Because children and youth need that monitoring. They need awareness, no doubt. Awareness is the key to cybersecurity for everyone, including children and youth, but they also need monitoring, especially children and also youth. Because you youth are, as I said, you are adults, you have rights and privileges. But if you can prove to me that if your parents are monitoring you in the virtual world, they're doing it to harm you, to trouble you, then please don't accept it, and I will be with you. But if you know it is for your benefit and for your protection and your own use, then you must accept it. And also you must monitor yourself. You're adults, you must do self-monitoring also, because these two things, awareness and monitoring, is what is going to secure you in cyber world in a better manner. Okay. Now we go to the crime part. First, we talk about cyberbullying. This is the worst crime which is occurring in the cyber world, according to me, with youth and with children and with women also, but with youth and children especially. Now let's talk only about bullying. Bullying itself is a very bad crime. What is bullying? Troubling someone, insulting someone, assaulting someone, abusing someone. It is done against children and youth. And done by whom? Done by another child or another youth. And done for what? Done for entertainment. That's all I can think of. So for your own entertainment, some child or some youth bullies another child or another youth for their own entertainment and spoils the whole future of that child and youth. I've seen so many cases in which children stop eating, stop going out, stop talking to people, stop lose confidence, stop studying, they become depressive, they become suicidal, and some people even commit suicide. They go to this extent just for someone else's entertainment. It's not acceptable at all. I'm very much against this kind of crime. And when bullying continues for too long a time, and even after that, if it stops, the effect on that child or that youth's mind is permanent. That effect, that mental effect does not go, even if it stops that activity. And the child will never tell before it is too late. So seeing all those things, it is a very bad crime against children and youth, and I'm very much against it. And this kind of activity should stop. And those children and those youth who are doing it, should be severely dealt with. You have no right to spoil the life and the future of another child or another youth for your own entertainment. You have no right. Nobody has a right. And such children and such youth should be severely punished, as I said. Even if it involves going to jail, they should go to jail. Child cannot go to jail, remand home. But they should be severely dealt with. This should stop. And those schools and institutions and colleges who tolerate this kind of bullying and ragging, after knowing that it occurs in their campus and their schools, should also be punished severely, in my opinion. And I have seen such cases and done such cases, so that it is a lesson to everyone. There is a section in Indian Penal Code, it is 108 of IPC, which says that abetment to crime is also a crime. So if you are tolerating it, knowing that it exists, and not doing anything about it, then you should also be punished. It should be stopped. Bullying is a very bad crime affecting youth and children. But to bullying, if you add technology, it becomes cyberbullying and becomes even worse. And many, many times worse, not a few times worse, many times worse. Why? Because of these reasons. It spreads faster, it has a wider audience, and follows children home. What do I mean by this? See, before, when it was the normal time, I used to go to schools and colleges, I used to talk to youth, talk to children. What do you feel bad about bullying? Bullying itself. What makes you feel bad? All of them, of course. First of all, somebody insults you, abuses you, and pushes you and troubles you. Anybody will feel bad. That's the one reason. Second reason, more important reason, is when others see it, it becomes worse. If 3-4 people witness what is happening to you at the hands of somebody else, then the effect is even worse, because then it's a matter of prestige. That is bullying. But in cyberbullying, just imagine, you just click one mouse button, you just press one button on your keypad. That bullying content can go to the entire school, the entire college, the entire group in a fraction of a second. So it spreads faster, wider audience, means everyone can come to know. See how much damage will be more. It will be many, many times more, and then follows children home. I mean, that I have two sons, as I told you. Well, now the schools and colleges are closed, but suppose they were open. As soon as they used to come from school and college, they used to go online. So something is happening in the campus, in the school and college. It would continue online at home. So it is a 24 hours affair. That is why it is such a bad effect on the minds of impressionable mind of children and youth. Is cyberbullying much worse than bullying? This is how it is done. I'm not very concerned about how it is done, sending me tests, Photoshop details. I'm not very concerned about this. I'm more concerned about telling you this, how you should deal with it if you ever become a kind of victim to this activity. This is what you should do. This is the advice I would like to give you. First is, best response, I always say, is no response. Don't respond to a bullying activity online. Best response, no response. Why? Because suppose somebody is cyberbullying you and you try to bully back. So first of all, you also become a cyberbully. So you come down to that person's level. That's the first problem. The second is that that person's job is his passion, his mission is only this, to bully you. So when you start bullying back, that person will do even worse things because that is his job. That's what he wants to anyway. So either way, you will lose. So it's a lose-lose situation. So that's not what we want. We want a win-win situation. So what is a win-win situation? This is the way. First is no response. Don't go down to that level. Best response, no response. Ignore. Second, block the bully. Block the bully, unfriend the bully, break all communication and contact. That is the second way. Third is save the evidence. This is very important because if you want to report tomorrow about this heinous kind of thing which has happened to you, you must have evidence. Because in that digital evidence is digital footprints. And that person then cannot escape. So how do you save the evidence? You take a screenshot, you take a print screen, and store it in a Word file, whatever, but save the evidence of bullying so that tomorrow if you want to report, you have those digital footprints to put up. Okay. Set up new account, make a report, talk to an adult. These are other steps you should take. I know all of you are adults, as I told you before, but you still lack that experience. Talk to somebody experienced and take the next step. If you need to go to the police and get that person arrested and punished also, if required. That's your decision. But all these steps you should follow. And if you have evidence, that person cannot survive or escape. Just one thing, Sunil, can you see the slides moving?
Yes, they are moving, sir.
Okay. So this is what you should do. And this is what I recommend. I will tell you a case study. You will understand better. I'm in Indore. There is an institution in Indore called Indian Institute of Management. IIM Indore. It is a very prestigious institution. There's a lady who used to study there. Lady because she was 24 years old. That's what I'm saying. She was doing a post-graduation course. Now this girl or a girl, whatever, she was a brilliant personality. She was a gold medalist student. She was an outstanding sports person. She was a great painter, singer. Whatever she did, she was outstanding. That's why I said she was an outstanding personality. But then something went wrong. She stopped going out. She lost interest in studies, and these changes started coming in her personality. I would give credit to her parents because they must have monitored her very well. They saw these changes. They understood that nothing is there in the real world which could cause these kind of things to happen. Then there must be something in the virtual world. And as I told you, monitoring is not only looking, watching, and seeing. If you find something wrong, then you better do something about it. So when they found these changes and they thought that it is in the virtual space that this must be happening, they did something about it. What did they do? They got that girl to me. I talked to that girl. She had become a victim of very bad cyberbullying. And I told you she was a smart girl. She had all the evidence stored and saved. She showed me the evidence. It was horrible. YouTube bullying, obscenity, what all was there. It was very bad. So, but the digital footprints were there. We followed the digital footprints, we caught the person. You know who the person was? The person was her best friend. She was another girl who may be in contact with her 24 hours. She was the person who was doing this kind of heinous cyberbullying and destroying the future of this girl. This is another problem of cybercrime. Somebody sitting next to you can be committing crime on you, you will not even know. But anyway, when we came to know, there was counseling and all that. The long story, to cut it short, now it's all okay. The brilliant girl's life is back on track and she must be doing very well. But I believe that if her parents had not monitored her very well and this would have continued 2-3 months more, even if later the report would have happened, all this thing would have happened, the damage on that girl's mind would have been permanent. And even after all this activity, she would have been permanently affected. But she was not, and her problem is solved. That's what I'm saying. Follow these steps and stop this cyberbullying. It has to stop. It should not go on. See this, another case is in Hindi. I'll read it out and tell you in English also. Dost ne WhatsApp par itna sataya ki yuti boli zehar kha lungi. Dost means friend. Friend in inverted commas means virtual friend. You never even met, you never even seen, but friend. This is what today's world is. So in WhatsApp, that friend, a virtual friend, troubled a girl so much that she said, I will go and eat poison. But this is not acceptable. This is not allowed. This should not be tolerated. So I have told you, the people who are subject to this, what to do. You must do it, and you must take action if required also, police action, criminal action, and get these people punished. But this kind of activity should stop. Now, this is because online classes are going on nowadays. Colleges, schools are closed. So teachers are being bullied, professors are being bullied by students. This is also not allowed. This is also wrong. This bullying is also not tolerable, and there should be action against such people also. But that's what I'm saying. This kind of activity is to stop. I was doing a webinar a few months back in Bengaluru. There's a big organization of schools. It's run by Sri Ravi Shankar's G's trust. And there are a number of schools all over India. They were all joined in that webinar, I remember. And after that webinar, one teacher from the school approached me and told me that she is being subject to this kind of cyberbullying. I told her what to do. That person was identified. That boy was caught also. And whatever they did in their school, according to their rules and regulation, but it stopped. So, but that's what I'm saying. This kind of cyberbullying is not acceptable. I have told you how to deal with it. Go ahead and deal with it and finish it so that you don't get permanently affected also, you're mentally, and such people are brought to book, and this kind of crime is finished. Next, I would like to talk to you about is online gaming. Now, online gaming, friends, is not a crime, but it is a very big problem that our youth and children are facing. And that's why we have to talk about it. Let's talk about online gaming. Now, online gaming, see the word, it's not online game. It is not a game. It is online gaming. If some parents, some youth, or some teacher professors feel that, oh, the child is just playing a game like cricket, football, hockey, and all real world, there's also a game. No, it's not a game. It's not online game. It's online gaming. That's why it's not a game. It's a business. This is a business which is run by some people online. And when does the business do well? A business will do well when the largest number of people take part in it, and they spend the largest amount of time in it. That's how the business will do well. They will earn the maximum amount of money, right? But when our youth and our children start spending maximum amount of time in these online gaming activities, then what will happen? Then they will become victim of online gaming disorder. Gaming disorder, friends, is beyond addiction. It is a disease. It's a sickness, mental sickness. So, do we want that our children or our youth, or do you youth want that you should take part in this gaming activity so much that you become sick, you become unwell? I'm sure you don't. And I'm not saying that. World Health Organization is saying that. So we would not like that our children or our next generation, or you yourself as adults and youth, would you like to fall ill or become sick because you keep doing some online gaming activity? Of course not. So what is the solution according to me? The solution is you have to fix the time. See, I am very much against banning and censorship and all those kind of activities because they only excite more curiosity and more participation probably, and even worse results. So I am against these kind of things. So I would recommend that you fix time. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Take part in gaming activity, but do it for a fixed time. You cannot keep doing it all the night and then sleeping all the day. What is this? This is a disorder, right? So fix the time, and you as youth, self-regulate yourself, self-monitor yourself. Take part in it, but for a fixed time, so that it doesn't become a disorder for you. Okay. Now, because if it becomes, then this is the result of this gaming addiction and disorder. They start skipping school and college. They don't go there. No interest in studies. They lose appetite. Stop eating. Stop sleeping. There's a case I was reading of a South Korean teenager who she kept on playing, doing some gaming activity, and as a result, she had a heart failure. She died. Because 50 hours, she didn't sleep, she didn't eat, she just kept on taking part in the gaming activities. Her heart stopped. So, lack of exercise, mental depressions are resulting. Suicidal tendencies and suicide are occurring because of this. Violent behavior on others, another very bad result of these gaming disorders and gaming addictions. I was reading this case of a Vietnam in which a 13-year-old grandson murdered his 80-year-old grandmother because she did not give him $6 to take part in an online gaming activity. So these things are happening. If you want to prevent it, You have to fix time, as I told you. And this violent behavior on other suicidal tendencies, where are they coming from? They are coming from the content of some of these gaming activities. You as parents, you as teachers, professors, have you ever seen the content of some of these gaming activities? Just try to see it one day. They're full of blood, bullets, guns, dead bodies, gore, murder, rape, sex, drugs. What is not there? If somebody my age also starts taking part too much in these gaming activities, it will affect my mind also adversely. So imagine that impressionable mind of a child or a youth, what effect it can have on them. So fix time and fix content. Age-specific content should be insisted. I know it's not so easy to convince this generation to do as you want them for their benefit. It is difficult, but it has to be done. It's your duty. So fix time and fix content. I've got this case of the timeline of this says Bhopal. Bhopal is the capital of Madyapradesh, but it is not from Bhopal. This case is from a district near Bhopal called Sagar. You might not have heard about that district. In Sagar is a town called Bina. You might not have definitely heard about the town. It happened there. Imagine the small town. These are things are happening. And that boy, the father bought him a smartphone for attending online classes. He started using it for gaming activities. Ultimately, he became part of the disorder. He ran up a debt of 50,000 rupees or whatever happened. Ultimately, the poor boy committed suicide. Suicidal tendency. See this. This happened in Indore. See, I am based in Indore, so I have got most of my cuttings and all from Indore. So don't feel that Indore is some capital of cybercrime of the world. It is not. This is happening all over the world, all over India, in major cities and towns and small places, everywhere. But because I'm here, so I've got the cutting from it. So that is just one clarification. So this happened last year. Class 5 girl murdered for beating 11-year-old boy at online gaming activity. I have not got the photographs of the crime scene because I don't want to spread horror on this webinar. But if any of you would ever see those photographs, you would never believe that an 11-year-old boy can have that mentality to kill a small girl so brutally. That mentality is what I'm talking about. That is what is coming from these horrendous online gaming activities and their content. So the way forward, the way out of this is fix time, fix content. Otherwise, gaming disorder, addiction, and a generation of probably disturbed and affected minds, which we don't want. So please make an effort, fix time and fix content, and then take part in it in a limited way. Next thing I'm going to talk to you about is online grooming. It's another crime which children and youth are facing, and even women, but children and youth mainly. So you must talk about it and understand about it. Grooming is what? Grooming is getting ready or getting somebody else ready. Online grooming is getting somebody else ready for doing something wrong. Now, online grooming is based on a cybercrime which is called social engineering. That is the base of online grooming. I'll tell you what social engineering is if you don't know. Engineering. Now this, your engineering college, I'm also an engineer. This building, this office of mine is made of bricks, mortar, cement, iron, whatever. These things, if I keep in this ground in front of my office will come up, it will not. Somebody will have to engineer this structure, correct? So similarly, information of yours about you, all type of information is available in this cyberspace freely. And most of it is given by you, as I told you. Where you go, who you meet, when you sleep, what you eat, who are your friends, which is the last place you visited, which restaurant you go, which movies, everything is available. Given by you mostly, as I told you. And these criminal elements just collect all this information about you, which you have mostly given, and other sources also. And when they've collected all this information, they engineer a structure against you and then attack you with that structure. And you have very less chance of surviving that attack. Why? Because it is based on information about you given by you. So that is social engineering. And how to save yourself from social engineering? I've already told you, secure your information as best as you can. I've already told you that, so I don't want to get into that. Base of online grooming is social engineering, and social engineering, the solution is securing your information. That I've already told you. Now, how is it done? Let's discuss that. It is based on another two instincts of all children and all adults. I've seen all youth, which I've seen. These are the two instincts I've written in the top: innocence and adventurism. All children and all youth will have abundant spirit of adventure, don't they? Must try everything new, must go to every new place, must try everything difficult, everything challenging, you must take it up. This is a spirit of adventure. Every child and every youth will have it as much as possible. As your life passes, your spirit of adventure comes down. Why? Because first of all, your physical prowess goes down. And secondly, you get experience. Sometimes you know that these things can go wrong, so you become cautious. But when you're a child or a youth, you're full of adventurous spirit. So you must do everything new. everything challenge, everything you must try. So in that spirit, and then when doing this adventurous thing, suppose something goes wrong, then there is innocence also, then they don't know what to do, then they keep getting more and more trapped. It is these two instincts as these criminal elements exploit and base it on social engineering. Now, okay, just give an example to you. Now they find out everything about you, right? Then they know you're studying in some school or college and all that, what's your age, what's your life, everything they know. Now they will make up maybe a fake profile and show themselves to be also your age and studying in some neighboring school or college and all that, something like that, and give you a friend request. Children are all adventurous, there's no problem. Friend request, go to the question, let us make friends, no problem. So what? Never seen, never met, so you make friends. Once you make friends, they are criminal elements. They will talk to you normal things because they know everything about you, likes, dislikes, your hobbies, your interests, everything they know. So they will only talk things which you like and how you like and what you like, and they will only talk those things to you, chat, and they become better and better friends. After some time, they will become such good friends that if somebody advises you also against them, you'll say, I don't care, best friend. I mean, you've never seen, never met, but best friend. And this is how they work on it. And once they have won your confidence and they know it, because they are criminal elements, they're waiting for their opportunity, then they will give you, then they will take it to the next level. The grooming part will come. Then they will tell you, they've groomed you already, then the crime part will come. Sorry. So they will maybe give you a temptation, an offer, a scare may be made, or maybe they will share a secret or something like that, just to trap you. And just as you get trapped, then the crime starts. Maybe they'll tell you, one day I did like this in college with some person. So you're innocent, the child and the youth is innocent. So, oh yes, I also did one day like this. But the secret is shared, the crime starts. Then starts the bullying, then starts the blackmail. Oh, you did like this, okay. I'm going to come to your college and tell everyone that this boy or this girl is like this. I'm going to phone your parents and tell them that this is what he does or she does. I'm going to post this content on your group and everyone should know what kind of person you are. So this is the pressure, the bullying. And the child and the youth then feels, oh my God, I'm the culprit, I've done a mistake. And they get more and more trapped. Then they start blackmailing. Okay, now you want to get out of it? Send this money to us. Send these obscene pictures to us. Come and meet us offline. And many people go and meet offline, children and youth, and then they become targets of all types of crime. It goes up to pedophilia. Pedophilia, according to, if you don't know, is sexual exploitation of children. There are cases in Mumbai when a minor girl went to meet such a groomer offline and she was raped. So this is the result, and it becomes worse and worse. So I've told you, this is how it happens. I've told you how to do. First, secure your information so that you never become victim of this kind of grooming. Secondly, even in spite of your best efforts, not without efforts, but in spite of your best efforts, even if you do become trapped in this kind of thing, anybody can make a mistake. Please do not feel that you are the culprit. You are not the culprit, you are the victim. Culprit is the person who's doing it to you. Don't feel you're the victim, the culprit, and don't get more and more trapped. You are the victim. The victim's job is to get a solution to the problem. You will go talk to someone, your parents, your teachers, professors, your elder brothers, whoever you have faith in, tell them the problem, get a solution, get that person caught, and get yourself safe from this kind of crime. Do not feel you are the culprit and keep getting more and more trapped. This is what this crime is all about and how to save yourself, and I've told you. This was the first case of online grooming which happened anywhere in the world, which came to light, of course, and it happened in 2014, and the whole world was jolted. My God, our children have to face this, our youth have to face this. This was that case. It's the case of Amanda Todd. Amanda Todd was a teenager from Canada. She got trapped unfortunately, in online grooming, and she had to send her obscene photographs and everything she did. In spite of that, she got more and more trapped, and then she became very upset, and this poor girl unfortunately committed suicide. Before she committed suicide, she made this kind of video and uploaded it on YouTube, in which she showed these kind of white flashcards and said what things happened in her life that she had to take this extreme, unfortunate step. Then the whole world woke up to this, and it came to light. I've told you what to do about it. The man was, of course, caught. His name was Aiden Coben. He was from Holland. Imagine Holland and Canada so far away, but he was doing it with many children. He has been punished in Holland. He has been extradited to Canada. He will be punished in Canada also. But neither Canada nor Holland has very stringent laws, and ultimately he will be free. But my request is, no law, however harsh it can be, can anyway finish the crime. This kind of crime happening online, these kind of crimes can only be controlled, be prevented, you can be protected by your own awareness. I'm saying it again and again, and your own alertness. I've told you what to do. Please do it and protect yourself from this kind of activity. And even if you become victim, I've told you what you should do. You should not think that you are the culprit, you are the victim, and find a solution. See what's happening. See how easy it is, and what is happening. It is becoming so scary to think about these things. This case will show you. This happened also last year in Pune. One person was arrested for doing a grooming activity on a minor girl. He was in jail. Then he came out on bail, and he shifted to Mumbai. After 6 months only, he was arrested by Crime Branch Mumbai. And when he was arrested after 6 months, see what they found from him. Just imagine. They found, first of all, multiple devices. And in those multiple devices, he had created 17 fake Instagram accounts. 17. Anybody can create, right? So easy. So 17 fake Instagram accounts. Instagram happens to be the social networking platform of choice of today's the youngsters and the children. I don't know why, but it is. So he had made 17 fake Instagram accounts, and through those 17 fake Instagram accounts, he had befriended 600 minor girls. 600 in 6 months, huh? And some of them passwords also he knew and used to run their account for them literally. And from the fake analysis of his devices, 700 obscene pictures were found of these minor girls. Just imagine what 6 months, 17 fake Instagram accounts created, 600 minor girls befriended, photographs obtained by that criminal. It's become so easy. So if it has become so easy, then you have to do something about it. And what you have to do, I've told you. You have to do it, and you have to secure yourself against these activities. Next, I would like to talk to you about is cyberstalking. Cyberstalking is a crime which I have seen occurs only against women and girls. I have never seen any crime of cyberstalking against a male or a boy. Okay, so the girls and the women who are here, please listen more carefully. Everyone has to listen, but you should be even more alert. Now, what is stalking? Stalking in the real world is repeatedly following someone. That is stalking. Okay, so when in the stalking incidents, the girl or the lady will see the danger. You go to the house, one man is standing there in front of the house every day. You come out of your school, college, or your workplace, that same man is following you on a vehicle or on foot and all that. So you see the danger. So when the girl or the lady sees the danger, then she does something about it. Then she will tell somebody that this person is following me all the time, the parents, her teachers, professor, whoever, her friends. And once she tells, then she will get a solution, may report that man may be apprehended, whatever. So you saw the danger, you took some steps, and you got maybe secure. That is real world stalking. But what is cyber stalking? Cyber stalking is this: repeated SMS, repeated missed call, repeated friend request coming to you. Again and again, somebody is approaching you to chat in the online forums. Again and again, emailing somebody. This is what is cyber stalking all about. Now tell me, in this, can you see the danger? Can that girl see the danger through just a missed call or a text message? You cannot. It might be somebody who's studying with you in college or working with you in office who's just trying to trouble you, pull your leg, irritate you, or whatever, which is also wrong. It's not right. I'm not saying that is right also. But it may be somebody like that, just irritating you, just troubling you, just playing a prank or mischief or something. Maybe somebody like that. I call that innocuous cyber stalking, because that type of stalking will finish one day without any problem. Though it is also wrong, but it will finish. But it may not be such a person. It may not be innocuous cyber stalking. It may be something more sinister. I'll give you a case study for that. There's a case from Bengaluru. Started there, of course. There's a lady who used to work in an IT sector company. Now, somebody used to cyber stalk her. And she became, again and again, she used to get a missed call and a text message and all that. And she became very bothered by it, in the sense she thought that somebody in her office is doing it to irritate her. So ultimately, she became so irritated by it that she left the company, and she left the city of Bengaluru and went back to her hometown, which was Pune. And in Pune, she took up a new job and entered another IT firm. Now, our youth, our children, and all of us in a way, if something good happens in our life, or we go to some place, a nice place, or if some good news comes and all that, what do we do first? The first thing we do is take a selfie, right? And what do we do with that selfie? That also we don't keep for our memory and record. We must post it online. Everyone should know how happy I am, correct? So that's what this lady did. Imagine she was being cyber stalked. She knew it. She was from the IT sector, but she still posted that photograph online and said, I am in my new office. I'm so happy. She did not give the name of the office. She did not give the name of the city. But ahead, I will tell you that I just need a photograph. I don't need all these things anyway. So if I'm a criminal, that is. So she posted that kind of content online. And that person came to know he was cyber stalking her anyway. So he landed up in her office one day below the building. She came down from office. It was evening time. It was dark. When she was passing in front of him, he knew her very well. She didn't even recognize him. So he told her, "Oh, you want to run from me? That's why you have come from Bangalore to Pune." And she must have realized, "Oh my God, he's the same guy." And she must have got scared. And he said to her then something like, "Okay, run. Let's see how far you can run." Then she started trying to run away from him. He chased her and he stabbed her 5 times and killed her. Because he was no innocuous cyber stalker. He was a psychopath. And she didn't see the danger because it was just a missed call. That didn't mean the danger was not there. See, this keeps happening again and again. This is another case of in Indore. This happened in 2018. The girl's name is written as Supriya Jain. Now, Supriya was from a district called Damoh. Damoh is a place 500 kilometers from Indore. And she did her education there, and she had come to Indore to work. Now, there was somebody who used to study with her in Damoh, another boy. She didn't even know him, but he liked her and all that, one-sided love or something like that. He followed her from Damoh to Indore. He kept on checking her profile, kept on sending her friend requests. She was very active on social media. I went to this party, I went to this picnic, I did this job, whatever. He kept seeing that content, kept sending her a friend request, and she kept ignoring it because who's I don't know, just a friend request, repeated. Kept on ignoring it. Then one day what happened? She used to stay in a locality called Vijayanagar, which is a very busy locality of Indore. One day she came down from a flat in the evening to take food for herself, and she was attacked by this man in the middle of that intersection. And she was stabbed 38 times, and she was killed. And she was not even stabbed with a knife. She was stabbed with that sickle, for which we cut grass. So with that sickle, he attacked her 38 times. He stabbed her and he killed her. And thousands of people must be there in that locality intersection in the evening time. Thousands. And not even one person helped this poor girl. And I will not be even surprised if many of them might be taking a video or photographs of this whole thing which was happening and saying, "Arey wah, kya tamasha ho raha hai." This is the mentality. So we are on our own, especially in the cyber world. We have to secure our own self. How do you do it? I'll tell you now. For the girls and the women, I have one set of advice. For the boys and the men, another set. Please listen carefully. For the girls and the women, I would like to tell you this, that if you ever feel, that you are being stalked in the cyber world, please do not ignore. Because girls and women tend to ignore due to a variety of reasons. We'll not get into that. But you feel, oh my God, it's just a missed call. It's just a friend request. Forget it. But if you feel it's cyber stalking in the cyber world, you must not ignore it. It may be something innocuous. I told you somebody who's doing it just to trouble you or irritate you or just mischief, playing a prank, which is also wrong. That also I have told. But it may be something more sinister. I've told you those cases also. So you must report. Report against, again, I mean that you pull her leg in like that. So if you have, because you're all youngsters, and if you know maybe somebody else is doing it, you should stop that person also. First of all, you have no right to do that. Just to trouble, just to irritate, you have no right. You cannot put that girl to so much of scare her and anxiety, and because she won't know who's doing it, so she'll be very anxious, she'll be very scared. You have no right to do it. So morally, you are wrong. You cannot do it. First. Secondly, if she reports, which she should, as I said, she should report, then you will be caught because the digital footprints will not let you escape. And once you're caught, what will you be punished with? It is written here in red. It is 354D Indian Penal Code. It's a special section which was inserted in the Indian Penal Code after the unfortunate incident of Nirbhaya. Nirbhaya, after that, the government made some new rules for women's security. One of the laws made at that time was this, 354D. This says that in India, if you cyber stalk a woman, you can go to jail for 7 years. So, you will go to jail for 7 years, surely, because you will get caught also, and your digital evidence will not let you prevent you from getting and there will be no way that you can be protected from getting punished also. So either way, you are gone. So legally you're wrong, morally you're wrong. You should not even think of doing it. And women and girls, please do not ignore. You have to report. Now we go to the next. There's only one or two more, then we'll finish. I got maybe 10 minutes more. So social networking crime, I'd like to tell you this because it's so easy to commit crime in social networking sphere with anybody. I'd like to show from this section. So, but before that, I would like to talk to you about one crime which I think is the worst crime in the virtual space. This crime is called phishing. You must have heard about it. Phishing is what you must be knowing about it. I don't want to get into that, but it is the worst crime, according to me, going around in the virtual world because it is the base of most of the crime which is occurring in the cyber world. See, I have not purposely talked about financial crimes in the cyber world because you are mostly students. You have very less access to cards, money, accounts and all. So, but that is also a very big section of cyber crime is financial crimes. So financial crimes, these are social crimes which I'm talking about, which are more important for youth and children. So financial crimes, the basis of most of the financial crimes is phishing, some form of phishing or the other. Okay, but according to me, the base of most of the crimes in the cyber world is phishing. What is the base of bullying? Phishing. What is the base of grooming? Phishing. What is the base of stalking? Cyberstalking, that is. Phishing. What is the base of the child pornography online? Phishing. What is the base of another crime called sexting? Phishing. Sextortion. Phishing. Illegal sexual trade of women online, phishing. Every crime base nearly has some type of phishing or the other as the ground, as the foundation. So that is why I call it the worst crime going around in the cyber world. If you understand well about phishing and how to protect yourself from phishing attacks, then you will be able to secure yourself from a large section of cyber crime. And that's what I'm going to do now. Phishing, you know very well. Phishing is like catching a fish. The fisherman goes to the sea or the pond or the lake and throws a line and then waits. All fish, thousands of fish pass from there, only one get caught. The fisherman's work is done. He did not want to catch the thousands anyway. Right? That's phishing. You remove F, add PH and some technology, it becomes phishing. The worst crime known to man. Same concept. One phishing email, send it to lakhs of people. You make one phishing SMS, send it to thousands and lakhs of people. You make one phishing call, make it to thousands of people, and you go nowhere. You sit at home and do it. Right? So, and those lakhs and thousands of people are not going to get trapped. Very few are, and the work of the criminal is done. That's phishing. I can talk a lot about it. The scales and all. It's very a lot of profits and so much things involved. And but I will not talk about that. You know what it is. Now I'll only tell you how to save yourself from phishing, and you have to do it. What I tell you, diligently. Diligently means every time. Okay. I have made a special 2-stage protocol. Very simple. 2-stage protocol to secure yourself from phishing attacks. If you do it, if you understand these two things, these 2 stages of the protocol, and you diligently apply them every time, then I'm sure you will be able to secure yourself in a better manner from all types of phishing attacks. Okay, what does my protocol say? The first stage of the protocol is, in the virtual world, you should have no contact with the unknown. No contact with unknown means no contact with unknown, and no contact means every time no contact. Not sometimes, every time no contact. What do I mean? If you get a friend request from an unknown person, you don't have to accept it. If you get a phone call from an unknown person, you don't have to talk and divulge information. If you get an email from an unknown source, you don't have to download any file. If you get an SMS from an unknown source, you don't have to press any link. So it's like that. Anything unknown has to be avoided and no contact with that. That's the first stage. And you do it every time, not sometimes. Now the second part of the protocol. Because it's a virtual world, you can be shown anything. I told you before, no? Anything can be made to hear, made to see. Everything is not the truth. So second stage comes into play. That is, even if it appears known, you have to verify and then proceed. First is no contact with unknown. Second is, even if it appears known, you have to verify and proceed, because it is only appearing known. You're not sure that it is a known kind of thing. I'll give you an example. Suppose you get a friend request from my profile. Now, if you know me well, if you don't know me well, but the first of stages, you reject it, of course. If you know me well, then you will have some way of contacting me other than Facebook, correct? So you have to make that much effort. See, security also is not free of any effort. Like in the real world, when you go out of the house, you lock the door, no? And the windows and the doors and all that. Nobody does it for you automatically. When you come back, you have to open all of them. You have to make some effort. So similarly, in the virtual world also, if you feel you can keep doing anything without doing any effort for security, this is not going to happen. So you have to make some effort. So make an effort. If you know me well, give me a phone call and ask me, have you sent me a friend request? If I say yes, you can decide what to do. If I say no, then it's a fake. You have to reject it. Similarly, from your bank, suppose you get an email or a phone call that you give this information, give that information, your card is blocked, your account is frozen, or you'll get a bonus or whatever. some scare, some inducement, something. That's the basic base of phishing attack. Some fright or some inducement. Anyway, if you get something like that, do you have to divulge the information immediately? Do you have to give all the things on email? Fatapat usi samay? No. You can make that much effort. Say, I'm not going to put down the phone or don't reply to the email. Find out the number of a bank manager. Give him a phone call or her a phone call. Ask her or him that, did you send this email or did you authorize any person to call for this information? Most probably he's going to say no. If he says no, it was fake. Reject. If he says yes, then you can decide what you want to do. So that's how you have to go about it. First stage protocol, don't no contact with the unknown in any way. Second, even if it is known, you have to verify and proceed. If you do this, I'm sure you'll be able to secure yourself from a large amount of phishing attacks in the cyber world, and as a result, a large amount of crime which is occurring in the cyber world in a better manner. 100% security, not guaranteed in any way, but you will be in a better space, definitely. I will show you this case. You will understand it very well. This happened with me a few months ago. Just imagine, 10 years I've been working in this field. Nothing of this sort has ever happened. I was waiting for it, actually. But now it has. It shows that cybercrime has increased so much. This is I'll just tell you what it was all about. My profile on Facebook. Verified profile, you can see the blue tick. So very few people have this verified profile. So anybody who has a verified profile is not going to make another profile. That's common sense. That is common awareness and alertness, but people are not aware, not alert. So if a person with a blue tick makes another profile, what is the use of that blue tick anyway? So, but people don't have that kind of alertness and awareness. So they will fall for any trap. So this is my actual profile. Now, a few days back, somebody made a fake profile. Very simple to make it, isn't it? Just needs some photographs of mine. You can find it anywhere and put my name, profile name. And there, see, in the real world, a person commits crime because physically stronger. In the virtual world, mentally he has to be smarter. So you're dealing with smart people. They are not, maybe not be very technologically savvy and all that, but they're smart. They're very smart. And they come up with new things to trap you. You should be smarter than them. That's what you have to be in the virtual world. So what they do, so simple. They make a profile like that with some photograph and my name they know. Now what they'll do, they'll go to my original profile and they will see some content which is public content, right? So they will see my public post, some post is there and below some people give comments, right? So like Sunil is there, Sunil Shinde. Now he comments on some people, he keep giving, I put some public post and they will say, well done, sir, and some claps and all this kind of things happen. So they see Sunil Shinde, okay, they have a profile pic, they have the name, then they'll search it in the Facebook thing, they will find the actual profile. Then from my fake profile, because they know he knows me, that's why he's commenting on my post. They will send a friend request to that person with his fake profile. Now that person, if he's alert and she's alert, as I told you, and aware, then in the beginning only, they should, if they know me, what should they do? They should verify, right? If they don't know me, then it's reject. But if they know me, then verification. They must ask me that, have you made a profile? Have you sent me a friend request? If I say yes, then you can decide, as I said. So they do this. Many people don't even ask. They will say, oh, another Mr. Kapoor has sent me a friend. Yes, what's going to happen? And then after that, they will start making some sort of relation. Then they'll ask for some money, they'll ask for something, and people will give it also. This is how it works. So this is what they did. They did my profile like this, and then they started asking for money. Early morning, one day, I got a call from one person, and he asked me that, did you make a profile, sir, another profile? I said, so he said, oh, the friend request had come, I have accepted it, but they're asking for money. I said, don't give it, it's all fake. I came to know immediately because I'm working in this field. I knew the Facebook guide and all that. I talked to them. They blocked this profile, and we proceeded like that. But see, this person, he was one stage late. So he verified with me after money was asked. He did a good thing before giving money. Then the crime would have occurred on him. It's not a crime on me. It's a crime on him, actually. So, but he verified, but one stage late. He could have verified with me before accepting the friend request. You have to do that. Otherwise, you will keep on there falling prey to these kind of things, right? So no contact with the unknown. And even if it appears known, it has to be verified. But see, a little bit of alertness and awareness can also secure. You don't even have to verify, actually. These people also make mistakes. Every criminal leaves behind some signs. See this fake profile they made about me. Varun Kapoor, they've written why, very good, my name. They put my photograph, very good. See below that, student of BSc nursing. They forgot to change that. Anybody alert would have seen it immediately. I'm not a student. You're putting a police officer's photograph and putting a name of a person who that person knows, and you should know that I'm not a student. And below that, Tirthankar Mahavir University, Muradabad. People knowing me know that I have nothing to do with Muradabad. I am in Indore. I am posted here and I work in Madhya Pradesh. So if the person who they send a friend request to were a little alert themselves in the beginning. They are aware they would have found out that this is a fake anyway. And then even if this is also so well crafted and engineered that it looked perfect, then what do you have to do? I've told you, you have to verify. So that's the only way which can save you, your own awareness and your own alertness. Of course, we caught this entire gang because I got all the logs from Facebook and all that. So we traced the gang, we caught the gang. It was somewhere near Patna. These people are involved. And it's another thing. New things will happen. These people, there are 4,000 people involved in this. There's a place called Jamtara. You must have heard about it. It's in Jharkhand. Now, that is the capital in a way of all type of crimes, phone phishing crimes with fake SIM cards. They keep phoning people and trying to trap them and banks and money. That is the base of that, the phone phishing. This place has newly come to light to me. It is near Bihar. It's in Bihar, near Patna, where they are involved in making fake IDs of people with any importance, some police officers, some politicians, some celebrity, any official, and make a fake profile and ask money and other. This is based somewhere near Patna. And so what I said, this person was caught, a few people were caught with them, but it will keep happening. New people will come. This is very easy to do. I've told you, sitting at home, they can do it. So it is better that you are aware, you're alert, and that is your best protection against this kind and any kind of cybercrime, in my opinion. I've told you before. So that's what I say in social networking spheres. Only make friends with those people you know well. Secondly, don't get into a contest that who has more friends. It's no contest. It is, suppose I have 2,000 friends and you have 2,500 friends. You're not more popular than me. You are more foolish than me because I also cannot know 2,000 people so well that I make them friends. Neither can you know 2,500 people. So take it like that and keep your group of friends small. There's one case I want to share with you and one more after this, then we'll finish. See, this is the case of Australia, and I would like to show you how easy it is to do crime in the social networking sphere on anybody is through this case. This occurred in 2017 in Sydney, the biggest city of Australia. See, Christopher, you can see the name. Just one thing before I start here. In the real world, people will commit crime attacking your weakness. Women are subject to crime. Why? Because they're physically weaker. SC, ST and weaker section of society are subject to worst kind of crimes. Why? Because they're socially weaker. If somebody gets a gun and a knife can rob you. Why? Because you become physically weaker. So your weakness is attacked and crime is committed on you in the real world. In the virtual world, on the contrary, your strength will be attacked, your specialization will be attacked, your interests will be attacked, and then crime will be committed on you. Why? Because you are the ones who are telling them your interests, your strengths, your specialization, and then you should be ready to be attacked on that sphere. They don't know your weakness, so they're going to attack your strength and your passion, your specialization, and then commit crime because you told them, so you should be ready. Then you cannot say, oh, I didn't know. So this is one thing which I wanted to tell you. Anyway, in this crime, Christopher is a 25-year-old man in Australia, Sydney. If you see his photograph, you will find that he looks normal kind of guy, white guy in that area must be looking like this. But he was not normal. He was a criminal. He had gone to jail for abducting a 19-year-old girl. He had come out on bail, and now he wanted to find his next victim. He decided that my next victim I'll find in the cyber world. I will not do it in the real world. It's a very tough job in the real world. Go to some girl, try to convince her, try to entice her, try to entrap her in your web of deceit and all that. And it takes so much time, energy, effort, and you may succeed in the end and you may not succeed in the end. Then if you don't succeed, you have to start with someone else all over again. So much time, money, energy, effort. I'm not going to do it there. I'm going to do it in the virtual world. And you can sit at home and keep doing it to so many women. No time, no energy, no effort, and success is guaranteed. Because the victims are so less aware and so less alert. He decided that he's going to do it online and see how easy it was for him. What did he do? He started analyzing the public content of 19 and 20-year-old girls of Sydney, which these girls put out about themselves. I told you before, we keep on putting out all type of content about ourselves. We don't bother who's looking at it. We don't bother what can be done with it. And we keep on making this kind of sharing all kind of information, right? The more likes you get, the better. The more views you get, even better. This has become the mentality. Who does what, who sees, who cares? That's the most dangerous part of this kind of crime. See, every device has something called settings. Every service online, like Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, Gmail, everything will have something called settings, right? You know that. Now, why are settings there? Settings are there, firstly, for making you use those services and those devices as you want to use them. That is called customized experience. It's for that. Also, they are for security. the settings. Have you ever used the settings for security? I don't think so. If you have, good. Go to and see the settings of security for Gmail. Then you will know how many ways fraud can be done against you using Gmail. Then only you will know. So use the setting. People don't use settings for security. They only use it for the customized experience part, and they keep on putting out all types of content, and who sees it and who does what, nobody cares. They don't, at least. Anyway, so Christopher started analyzing 19 and 20-year-old girls' public content, which they put out about themselves. In that, he found the profile of this girl, Nona. She was a 19-year-old teenager, and she also had a passion and a great liking. What was that? She was a big animal lover, pet lover. So many photographs. So my Bobby, my Tommy, my cat, my pigeon, my parrot, my dog. Where do you show it? You show it online. And that's what she had done. So much of content she had posted, he came to know that she was such a big animal lover. Now see how easy it becomes for him. He made a fake profile in the name of Gordon Green. And he found out in Sydney, the biggest NGO which works for animal welfare. He knew that this girl, being such a big animal lover, must have heard about that NGO. So he showed himself to be the HR manager of that NGO and made a fake profile. Could anyone stop him? Obviously nobody. Now with that kind of profile, he sent her a friend request. And we are not at all aware, alert, unknown, so what? And she must have been so happy that, oh my God, such a big man in this field wants to make friends with me. And she said, yes, don't bother, what can happen? So this was friendship with the unknown, contact with the unknown. She did it. Now they are criminals. 6 months he kept chatting with her normal things. Obviously things which she liked. And they became better and better friends, as I said before. Now, after 6 months, when he realized that now he has that girl under her control, he has won her confidence, he took the next step. What was the next step? He offered her a job, fictitious, of course, that in my organization, this position is vacant. Do you want to do this job? This is what you'll have to do. This is the money you will get. Are you interested? Now, what is Nona going to say? First of all, chance to work in the biggest organization in the field of animal welfare. Prestige. Secondly, what is the job she'll have to do? The job will be, of course, for animal welfare, something she loves to do anyway. Thirdly, she will get paid for it also, another advantage. And what is the fourth thing? Who's offering her the job? The job is being offered by her best friend now. 6 months, never met, never seen, but best friend name. So either way, she said yes. So he said, okay, tomorrow morning I will come and pick you up and take you to my office, and we'll have a formal interview and you'll get the job. Now this Nona must have been so happy. She might not have slept the whole night. Next morning he came, he picked her up, he took her out of Sydney. First he raped her, then he strangled her to death, and then he buried her in the ground and came back. Because that's what he was intending to do from the beginning. After 1.5 months, they found the body of Nona. The Sydney police traced the digital footprints. I told you that cannot be removed or whatever. They found Christopher. Christopher was, the trial went on. In December 2018, Christopher was sentenced to 21 years imprisonment for the rape, abduction, and murder of Nona. Australians say that in our history, this is the harshest punishment that any criminal has got. Very good. Because they don't have capital punishment, this hanging and all that. So in our history, the harshest punishment Christopher has been given. Very nice. Claps. But do you think because of this harshest punishment, Nona is going to come back to life? Of course not. And tell me one more thing. Who could have saved Nona from this fate? No one but Nona herself. Now this is, obviously she is alert or aware. Now this keeps happening all the time. Contact with the unknown. Online dating site, this case. Make a friend with online dating, go out on a date and see what happens. That's why I say no contact with the unknown means no contact, and every time no contact. Fake profile, there are a lot of crime going on, fake profile. I always say do not share your personal information. You must share as less as possible on the social networking sphere. Your phone number, your address, status update with time and place reference should be avoided. These are your personal information. Share them as less as possible. Your photographs are also your personal information. Share them as less as possible also. This also I recommend. Girls' photographs are taken, women's photographs and morphed. Morphing is digital modification of photographs. These photographs are morphed and made obscene. And then all types of crime are done on these girls and women. I've seen it myself. Here in Indore, there was one case in one girl committed suicide. Her photographs of her profile were taken. She was very active there, of course, and they were modified and made obscene. Another profile was made in her name with those obscene photographs. A phone number was also put into that and soliciting all sort of things. And people started phoning her from all over the country and the world. And she became so concerned that she committed suicide. So, your photographs are personal. Men's photographs are used for all kind of fake IDs, fake Aadhaar cards, fake passports. So your photographs are your personal information. Share them as less as possible. All type of personal information should be shared as less. See, there are many cases. We'll go for last thing I'd like to talk to you about: selfies, selfie-itis, photographic stalking. Then I'll finish. See, selfies is not a crime. Taking selfies is not a crime. Selfie-itis is another word coined by World Health Organization. It's a disease. It's a mental disorder. If you take too many selfies and post them online, they say it's a mental disorder. It is. And people are taking so many selfies that they are losing their lives. Every day you open the newspaper, you'll find somebody fell in front of waterfall taking a selfie, somebody fell into the tiger cage taking a selfie, somebody fell in front of a train taking a selfie. What is this? Don't make it such that it becomes a threat to your life, taking photographs with that device. So selfies you should take as less as possible, I recommend. Second is, even what the photographs you have taken by the devices should be kept for your memory and record. Every selfie, every photograph does not have to be posted. It can form the basis of crime. I told you morphing and so many other types of crime, stalking. So selfies to be taken as less as possible, and those taken should be posted as less as possible. And this is the last thing which I like to tell you. If you are also posting them, then you should take care of the stalking aspect from photographs. Okay, this is the last thing, then we'll finish. What is this? This is called a smartphone. This is called a smartphone. Why? It's not called a smartphone because nowadays there's a thing of calling everything smart. Smart bus, smart city, smart toilet, smart toothpaste, smart AC, fridge, smart TV. Everything is smart. Oh, only human being is not smart. No, it's not the reason. This is the original device which is called smart because it has some features which make it smart. Suppose you don't know the features and you keep using the device, one day this device will be smarter than you and it will use you rather than you using the device. Okay. One of the features which this device has, one of them which makes it smart, is called GPS, Global Positioning System. You must have heard about it. It means it finds out your exact location. How does it find out? It picks your latitude, longitude of that place and fixes your location. This is, every smartphone has it. When you buy a smartphone, iPhone or Android from market and get it home and switch it on, by default, GPS comes on. You don't have to press any button for it. It's enabled. Okay. So, and then with such a device in which GPS is enabled, if you take a photograph, then with your photograph, the latitude, longitude, because of GPS, gets tagged with your photograph. Tagged means attached with your photograph due to geotagging. This is another feature of this device. That's what I'm saying. If you don't know these features and you keep using these devices, they will become smarter than you. And that's what happened to that girl in Bangalore. She posted that photo and that she was stalked and traced and tracked. It becomes very easy because your location is tagged to it. I'll give you a case in UK, London. There was a girl who won a lottery. She won a lottery. She was a 19-year-old girl. She won a lottery of pound notes, and she got all those notes home, and she put it on a table in front of her. She made her old grandmother sit with her, and she took a selfie. And what she did with the selfie, that also, she posted it online because everyone should know, you're so happy. And I'm rich. I'm so happy. She posted that photograph online. Now, these characters are called online predators. Means the job is to go through this public content. I told like that Australian fellow, they keep going through this public content which people keep posting about themselves without bothering who's seeing and what can be done with it. And they keep going through this content. And when they find such content in which they can take some action and commit some crime, then they do it. So this kind of photograph must have caught the attention of some online predator. He must have seen a photograph in which there is a young small girl and an old lady sitting with lots of money. And the photograph was a selfie, so they knew, whatever the predator, that it was from a smartphone. Then if it's from a smartphone, then the location of that photograph would be attached with the photograph. And that is the location where the money is. So it's become so easy. They download that photograph, you right-click that photograph, you'll go to properties. In the properties, you'll find the latitude, longitude, because that is tagged due to geotagging. Now you just copy that latitude, longitude, and you paste it in the Google Maps. Google Maps also works on latitude, longitude, so you can find the exact address from where the photograph was taken. And that's what happened. They found the address at night. They attacked that house. They killed that girl. They killed the grandmother, and they took all the money. But just tell me one thing. Who gave the invitation for this crime? The invitation was given by the girl herself, unfortunately. That I am a young girl. With me is my old grandmother. I have so much money. Come. They came, and in the process, they took the money and they murdered them. So that's what I'm saying. Selfies as less as possible. Posting them also as less as possible. And if you're posting these selfies, then please go to the settings, disable geotagging so that next time your location is not tagged with the photograph that you're taking and posting, so that you'll be safe from this kind of stalking. If you feel you're very expressive, you're very smart, you're very popular, you're very active in the virtual world, so nothing is going to happen to you, then think again. The more active you are, the more expressive you are, the more well-known you are, the more smart you think you are, the bigger targets you are. This case will illustrate it for you. This is the case of Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is a reality star from US, you know it. She went from US with a mother and her sister to Paris in France. They lived in a very big apartment. And in that big apartment, they wore a lot of jewelry and they took a lot of photographs with that jewelry in that big apartment and they posted all the photographs on Instagram. The invitation was given, the invitation was accepted. Those criminal elements landed up in her flat one day afternoon. She was not there. Her mother and sister were there. They were both tied up and beaten up badly, and all the money and the jewelry was taken. But again, invitation given by this lady herself. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. There are many things which are there, which can be talked, but I will now finish with my 5 mantra for cyber security. You must have heard many things which I said. You must remember them. You must implement them. I'll be very happy. But even if you don't remember all I said, remember these 5 things and implement them. First is always have a mindset of safety and security. It's very necessary in cyber world, which people don't have. See, in the real world, our first instinct, thing is security. All living beings, I would say, human beings, animals, plants, what is our first instinct? Self-preservation. What is self-preservation? Security. So first thing is we think about security, right? When you go out of your house, suppose some big ruffian kind, gunda kind of character is standing in front, do you straight go and barge into that fellow? No, you will not. You will try to find some side paths to avoid that danger, right? Will you? You will know. So why? Because your first instinct is security. Mindset is of security. But in the virtual world, we will do everything possible, and then maybe in the end we'll think of security. Because the reason is mainly because danger is not seen and our habits are not formed properly. So we will do all things before thinking of security. Don't do that. You pick up that security concept from the last point, bring it to the first point. First think of security, even in the virtual world, like in the real world, and then proceed. I mean, have that mindset of security, you will be more secure than what you are today. Second is avoid shortcuts, avoid greed. Most of the financial crime occurring in the cyber world is based on the human instinct for greed. There is no other word I have for it. I have not talked about the financial crime, but the instinct is greed. You sit at home, get a job. Sit at home, get a lottery. Sit at home, get a relation. It doesn't work like that. You're all students. If you make this your motto in life, that whatever I will gain will be through my hard work. There are no free lunches. If you get that as your motto and diligently follow it, you will avoid greed. As a result, you will avoid a lot of cybercrime occurring in the financial type of cybercrime occurring in the cyberspace. Second is avoid shortcuts. Technology has given us a lot of opportunities, a lot of shortcuts for making our life comfortable, making our life very simple. Technology has given those solutions, hasn't it? You sit anywhere, transfer any money. You sit in your garden and book any ticket. You make any friend and phone anyone. There's so many things that have happened, which were science fiction for us when we were your age. So these shortcuts, have made our life much more comfortable and easy, correct? But every shortcut doesn't have to be followed. You have to be smart. You have to be aware. Suppose I'm a customer of State Bank of India, correct? If I get a SMS, they come to know. See, information based, they know that I'm a customer of State Bank. They know it'll work. They'll send me an SMS maybe and write something like AD-SBI or whatever. How do I know it has come from SBI? Just because some SBI is there in that sender's caption. Anyway, so people fall for it, not aware, not alert, not on their toes kind, what you would say. So they'll send me such a SMS and say your card is being blocked or your account will be upgraded or something like that. Click on this link, which will be the link of my bank URL, and click and upgrade your card or whatever. I might click on that link, shortcut, and I might end up in a fake site, which may look like the original site. By hyperlinking, it may be a fake site, and I'll put in all my information there and they will clean up my account. Instead of that, if I would have opened a new tab and with my own fingers typed www.sbionline.com and enter, then I would have entered the actual site, not the fake site, and I would have been saved from the crime. It might have cost me 5-10 seconds extra. That's it. So don't follow all shortcuts. Be smart. It may not go in the right direction. Shortcuts may lead you in the wrong direction. Follow the long path, the right path, the secure path. It may take more time, but it will save you a lot of pain. Think before you act. This is the third motto and third mantra that I like to give you. I mean to say is, if you think and act, take a decision. Most of the time, decision will be right. If you take all decisions in a hurry, most of the time the decisions will be wrong. So that is the very old adage. So for you also in the virtual world, what you're liking, sharing, posting, forwarding, just think once what you're doing. If you think and do it, maybe you will not make the mistake which you would have done if you did it in a hurry. Because I'm not going to tell you keep thinking from morning to night, but think 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Give yourself that much time. This is a very big tool. I told you. As soon as you think, you might not make that mistake. So think before you act. What you like, share, forward, and post. Just think and then decide. And fourth is have full knowledge. I told you before, this is the age of information. Information is power. Information is power for everything, for everyone, for your success, for your security, for your satisfaction, for everything. So think before you act, and that way you will have better of everything. Sorry, have full knowledge. Last is cyberspace. Do not trust anything rather blindly, because basically you're interacting with a screen. There is only a screen in front of you. On the screen, I can show you anything. I can make you hear anything. Everything is not the truth. There is no person. There is no place. There is no situation. It is only a screen. So always keep that in mind. Do not trust everything blindly. This is my WhatsApp number 9826017614 and my email varunkapoor170@gmail.com. People from all over the world contact me, and if they have any problem, they tell me the problem. If I have a solution, if I have advice, I will give it to you. You're welcome to do that. If you are from any other city in the country or anywhere in the world, you want to set up a webinar like this for your students, for your people around your community, I love to do it. If I have time, please contact me on these WhatsApp or email. We can think about it and set up a program also. And so these keep it in mind. Any advice, any help, or any more webinars you want, just contact me. We can work on it. And because I take nothing for this. This is just my mission and passion under which I'm here. So thank you for listening so carefully. And I will now finish quickly. If you have any questions, you can ask quickly and then we'll finish. Otherwise, thank you for being patient. Thank you for listening. Please implement what I said and remember what I said. Then our meeting here will be fruitful. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for such wonderful and informative coaching on cybersecurity tools. Now, I request participants those who have questions should raise their hand. Omkar B. Omkar B. You can unmute and ask a question.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Omkar, you are audible. You can proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Nowadays, how did this cyber crimes become hands on everyone? This of social medias, or people are not aware of this.
I didn't get the question. Can you repeat it? Somebody. What is he wanting to ask?
Sir, nowadays, how did this cyber crimes became hands on everyone?
Nowadays, how is cyber crime?
Became hands on for cyber criminals are very nowadays.
Sir, what he wants to ask is nowadays cyber crimes are increasing. Is it because of social networks or is it because we don't have awareness about it?
Partly both. First of all, the use of cyber world is increasing, and it is going to increase even more. See, what is this device? This device is now the world. Everything you can do through this device. So the use of cyber world, the use of cyberspace, this pandemic has accelerated it. So all these things are increasing. As a result, the crime will increase. Anything in which the human beings exist more, the criminal elements will be also trying to be present there and commit crime. That's one reason. The second is also, as you said, because of lack of awareness, people don't see the danger. People feel there is no problem. It's just virtual. There's nothing going to happen. So because of that also, the crime is increasing very fast. So both of them are combining. I told you in the whole lecture, both these things are responsible for it. But first thing, the use of cyberspace is not under your control. What is under your control is your own awareness, alertness, and then prevention of crime. So you concentrate on that part. The use will keep increasing. Maybe it will become, the whole world will become that one day. But what is under your control? Your own awareness and how to protect yourself from crime. You should concentrate on that.
Next question is from Mr. Gagandeep Sharma. Mr. Gagandeep Sharma, please unmute and ask the question.
By mistake, he has raised a hand from.
Okay, okay, sir. We'll proceed. Now, I request Professor Satish Bhojanawar, convener, to present letter of appreciation to speaker of today's webinar, Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir. Sir, please. Okay. Thank you, sir. To conclude today's session, I request Professor Sunil Shinde, event coordinator, to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, sir, please.
Unmute.
Yeah, good afternoon to one and all. Myself, Professor Sunil Shinde, Department of Computer Science, KLCT, Chikkodi, Karnataka, India. On behalf of KLCT family, I am here to present the vote of thanks for today's webinar, that is Cyber Security Tools for the Youth. I would like to thank our dynamic guest speaker of this national level webinar, Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir, IPS, Additional Director General of Police, Madyapradesh, India, for enlightening us with their knowledge. Sir, today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic of cybersecurity tools and also revealed some interesting facts. The point where Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir, expressed that common sense is required in cyber security, and information is the base of cyber security, as well as he told us that how cyber crimes affecting youth and children with live examples. That was really informative, sir. I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge that Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir, gave us will definitely help us in our day-to-day life to tackle cyber frauds or scams. Sir, your deep and intellectual way of imparting knowledge has added to the glory of this webinar. Today, we have got a lot of information of cybersecurity aspects which will truly help us in our life. We have no words to offer gratitude for your valuable knowledge shared in this webinar. Sir, you gave a deep insight into this topic of cybersecurity tools and revealed some interesting facts. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir, for taking out time from his busy schedule and enlightening us with knowledge. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And we will wait for some more webinars like this from your side. We all want to be part of your Black Ribbon initiative started by Dr. Varun Kapoor, sir, that is Sampark, Sandesh, Sankalp, Sahyog and Samadhan. Thank you, sir. I would like also thank our beloved principal, sir, Dr. Prasad Rampure, for giving permission to organize this webinar session and his constant support in such initiatives. I want to thank the head of department CSE and convener of this webinar, Professor Satish Bhojanawar, sir, who supported and worked with us to make this event successful. Also, I extend my thanks to Professor Chetan Bulla, Professor Ashwini Gavali Madam, Professor Sachin Mekkalke for their hard work to make this webinar a grand success. Lastly, I would like to thank you all to the participants present here for paying your attention and learning. I would end my speech here. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you one and all.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I request all the participants to share their valuable feedback.
Sir is speaking.
Yes.
Sir, do you want to tell
Me?
something?
No, I just want to say, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Can I go?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, please, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, all of you. And
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
I request all the participants to share their valuable feedback through the link provided in the chat box. Now, we come to an end of session. Thank you one and all. Stay home, stay safe.